ripped to left field. It's gone, and Vanderbilt has the lead. Vandy's victorious. They win the 2014 College World Series.
Virginia and Vanderbilt in a one-game CWS final, winner-take-all.
I've been working night and day. I've gone berserking. I'm gone insane. But I say, hey, it's a new day. Hey, I'm on my way. It's a new day. Bring on the next phase. I'm gonna go big, decisive, bigger than I was before. I'm gonna go big, yeah, go bigger than I was before. You can tell your friends and all their friends I wonder who I was and know I'm gonna go big, decisive, bigger than I was before.
Season that began in February, now 1 week away from July, Omaha, Nebraska, and the final game of the college baseball season. The road to Omaha has two teams left, same two that were here last year in this very same situation. The fans are filing in to watch, to find out if in fact we'll see a repeat champion, the Vanderbilt Commodores. They won it all last year, and they're trying to become the seventh team to go back to back. They're facing the same group they did last year, led by the hometown guy. Brian O'Connor's got the Cavaliers back as they try to end a 6-decade drought for the ACC Conference. As we welcome you to ESPN's coverage of the NCAA College World Series. It's presented by Capital One. 64 teams in the field, 8 make it here. And as you can see, 6 of the flags have been lowered, only 2. University of Virginia looking for its first baseball championship, and Vanderbilt remain. How's this series played out? It's been pitching. Carson Fulmer dominant, 7 2/3, 8 Ks, and Dansby Swanson breaks out of a slump. He gets 2 hits, including a double. Shocker last night, Adam Paisley, making only his 5th career start, was picked up by the machine Josh Spores, who in 19 innings in the NCAA tournament has not given up an earned run. He was outstanding, and that sets up this winner-take-all Game 3. On the field, Jess Mendoza, Kaylee Hartung in a moment. Kyle Peterson is here, Aaron Boone as well. Last night there was a favorite. It was Vanderbilt. But now, tonight, it's anyone's game because of the great pitchers that are on the mound. And you start with Vanderbilt, and that means Walker Buehler, 24th pick in the first round to the Dodgers. He looked like an ace, a #1 pick his first game here.
He sure did, Carl, and it's really becoming an embarrassment of riches for the Vanderbilt Commodores. Pitcher after pitcher seems to get drafted high and go to the big leagues. We saw Carson Fulmer dominant in Game 1, and Walker Buehler, the same kind of ability. Fastball in the mid, at times even upper 90s, and a power breaking ball. And if he has good command of that breaking ball, he too will be very difficult to beat.
And like Fulmer, he struck out 8, and he made his first start in 19 days, now going on shorter rest. But not as short a rest as Brandon Waddell, who pitched just 3 days ago. But being here for the second year in a row, there's an incredible comfort level that comes with what he's able to do on this mound.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing what he's done on the mound at TD Ameritrade, not just this year, but last year as well. And from Brandon Waddell, 4 College World Series starts. Virginia, they won every one of them. And against Florida this year, against one of the best offenses in the country, Waddell was at his best. First time out, got to win. The second time out, put Virginia in a spot to win. And one of the keys for Waddell against Florida was a cutter on the inside part of the plate to righties. I think that will be a key again tonight. 53rd career start, most in Virginia history. And in these finals last year against this Vanderbilt team, he was outstanding. Complete game, gave up 1 earned run, and Virginia won the ball game. For more on Virginia, let's go down to the field. Here's Kaylee Hartung.
Well, Kyle, yes, Virginia is in the very same spot they were a year ago, but the personality, the dynamic, and the talent level of this team is very different. There were so many times this season when no one expected to see them back here, like when they went 18-18 through their March and April schedules. And then they go to their spring break with just 11 healthy position players. Brian O'Connor went so far as to call up the club team president at UVA to get a couple extra bodies on the roster. Then the last week of the regular season, their backs are against the wall. They've got to beat North Carolina or they won't even make the postseason. Since they've gotten to Omaha, they've waited till late in every game to wrap up each win. They have earned everything that they have gotten. Now they're looking to earn a national title. The only thing standing in their way of Vanderbilt team with a new look to their batting lineup. For more on them, here's Jessica Mendoza.
Oh yeah, Kaylee, Vandy mixing things up a little bit offensively. They've moved Brian Reynolds from that 5 spot into the leadoff. Ro Coleman is out. Tim Corbin told me it's because he wants more power at the top. He wants to make a statement early on. He'll get just that. But Brian Reynolds, the last time he led off guys was May 12th against Louisville. His first at bat, he went yard, home run. Before the game, the team hit on the field. They normally hit off site. The only other time they've done that in 2 years here at Omaha was last year before their game 3, before they won it all. Carl?
And they used a late home run in that game to win it all. We look forward to seeing it unfold. Can't wait. Virginia, Vanderbilt, winner take all in the CWS Finals. Saw the UCLA Bruins and the Vanderbilt Commodores, the 4 teams that won the most recent College World Series championships. Brian O'Connor, born in Omaha, grew up in Council Bluffs, Iowa, right across the Missouri River. He's got his team back here, and this is his Capital One starting lineup.
How about Ernie Clement, the freshman in the 9-hole? He's been outstanding in the College World Series, and he got the big hit last night that got Virginia started in their Game 2 victory of the CWS Finals.
Story last night, we talked about the pitching, but boy, the 8-9 hitters, Woodruff and Clement, 6 of 8. The rest of the team went 4 of 27, Kyle.
Yeah, now you get Walker Buehler tonight on the mound for Vanderbilt, who from a stuff standpoint can be absolutely dominant. Booney talked about the fastball into the mid-90s, a power breaking ball, and he had control of each in his first start here at this year's College World Series.
First pitch right back at him, and how about the aggressiveness of Adam Hazley? He was the pitcher last night. He's in center field tonight, and he starts off 1 pitch, and we got a hit.
I mean, that's huge. I mean, Virginia has been looking to get him rolling this entire College World Series. He's been a little behind those pitches right there. Kyle, he's been fouling off for the most part in the College World Series. Tonight, nice and short, great start for Virginia.
Any idea that they would have Thomas Woodruff because he was hot play again tonight, and maybe Hazley sit down? Every move that Brian O'Connor and Tim Corbin have made so far have paid off. So that brings up Daniel Pinero. He's the shortstop out of Toronto, Ontario. Hitting .400 in the College World Series. Go on! On the ground, there's a hole over there, and it gets through into right field. Hazley stays at second, and they are 2 for 2 to start the game.
I like letting him swing away right here.
Oh.
Pinero up right here, so you get leadoff man on now. First pitch fastball again. So 2 pitches, 2 swings so far from Virginia, and 2 singles. Just hit it in the right spot. Up the middle, Campbell was pinched towards second base. Can't get to that one, and the Cavs in business early tonight against Walker Buehler.
Love the approach there from Pinero, though. With the first baseman holding him on, you could see a conscious effort to try and pound that hole, work that side. Worst case, maybe you get the runner over. Now they're in business.
For Matt Theis, the number 3 hitter from Jackson, New Jersey. He squares to bunt. It's a ball. Very different than Buehler's last start when he retired the first 10 that he faced. He had thrown 2 pitches prior to that and given up 2 hits. Theis looking for his first hit in the finals. He's 0 for 8.
Another thing at the onset here with the sun out, shadows a little bit of an issue, especially when you consider Buehler and his breaking ball. The shadows become an issue more with spin. And you can see there's a little bit of a difficult background for the hitters.
2-0. Until the finals, Theis has had a very good NCAA tournament, hitting .341. The sophomore's got 2 on here early as you look through ump cam. And we go to 3-0. Tim Corbin's been at the helm from 2003. Brian O'Connor joined Virginia in 2004. And he's able to throw that fastball in at 94 for the first strike.
I would think he'd be swinging away again here, but almost certainly no movement on the bases.
Tonight, too, the ball was really flying to right field in BP. Wind was pushing out a little bit further that way. Not much wind at all right now, but Theis with very good power from the left side.
3-1, got the fastball on the ground with the runners going. The double play is off, and Theis moves him up.
Well, they were moving, and that's just faith in your hitter. And looking at Buehler, even though he's gotten behind a little bit, still a guy that doesn't walk a lot of guys, a strike thrower, and trusting your number 3 hitter is going to put the ball in play. And now 2 runners in scoring position for the Cavaliers.
And their cleanup hitter is Kenny Towns from Burke, Virginia, the 3rd baseman. 6 runs batted in the College World Series, got a 9-game hit streak. First one locates the corner for a strike.
Carl, it seems like Kenny Towns has delivered in these situations his entire career, and certainly in the College World Series these last couple of years. 11 RBIs in the tournament so far, 6 more in this World Series. Despite a tournament average of just .233, he's come through in big spots.
That's pulled foul, and Buehler's got him ahead 0-2. To Aaron's point, the idea that they've played so many games in the NCAA tournament, there's a comfort level, but nobody's been better at Virginia historically than this guy, Kenny Towns. Only 5 home runs, not your prototypical cleanup hitter, but he'll clean the bases for you. Oh, we got him there. Nasty breaking ball from Buehler, and just like that, he's an out away from getting out of it.
Good one right there. And I thought if he threw a breaking ball in the zone, the Towns might get it because of the swing at the second. So here's the entire at bat. We're going to go fastball at 94 down below. And he was, this was a pretty good swing. That was a breaking ball that, just based on the previous swing, I thought Towns might drive somewhere. Instead, he swings right over the top. And the stuff of Buehler, after first and second, nobody out. He's a pitch away from getting out of this unscathed.
You know, Kai, I think it speaks to the stuff of Walker Buehler there, and the bite and the depth of that curveball, coupled with, I'm telling you, the shadows and the spin on a really good breaking ball can be an issue for a hitter. Towns pretty good passes at it, but Walker beats him.
No swing from Pavin Smith, a freshman from Jupiter, Florida, who was looking for his first run batted in of the NCAA tournament. And Buehler's going to bring Jason DeLay, who's behind the plate tonight, not Carl Ellison, but DeLay out to the mound.
And Pavin Smith has struggled a little bit, but this is a good-looking freshman hitter. He had a hit in last night's game. And I think this is Walker Buehler and DeLay just trying to get on the same page. You have first base open and a righty on deck, a righty in Robbie Coleman that has struggled in this World Series. So look for them to pitch to him as though they're ahead in the count.
They've needed the freshman to deliver. They did last night. And they're hoping Pavin Smith can do it again tonight. Ahead 2-0. He hasn't walked yet in the College World Series. He has struck out 7 times. And DeLay and Buehler having a hard time getting on the same page early.
And there's a look at it there, Kyle. 2-0 change up there, down. If it's either going to be well located, maybe you get a chase, but a case of not wanting to give in to this left-handed hitter.
No, and it's Buehler's third best pitch, but I think in that spot against the left-hander, you think maybe you can throw it away from the barrel if he does go after it. You miss the barrel if he makes contact.
Bases loaded after his first walk. Virginia's a team that usually scores late, not early. So many of their victories in the NCAA tournament have come because their runs have come after the 7th inning. But here with a chance to break through in the winner-take-all CWS Finals. Robbie Coleman's the designated hitter out of Lake Worth, Florida. He's a junior. And Buehler misses away. Coleman just 2 for 15 in the College World Series. Two and 0. Buehler falling behind and not able to locate. 6 consecutive balls.
Scott Brown on his way out, the pitch coach for Vanderbilt. One thing maybe you talk about here is just the finish. It looks like those last few, when Buehler misses, the finish is a little bit abbreviated. Kind of cuts it off on the top half. So with Buehler, who's made a mechanical change in the last 2 weeks, watch the hands. So this is earlier this season. His last start on the left, and then his first start at the College World Series on the right. Hands above the head as opposed to down at the belt. And I think it's given him a lot more rhythm when he's throwing out of the windup. Now, obviously, it doesn't make any difference when he's out of the stretch, but it's more deliberate. I think it allows him to get over that back leg a little bit more powerfully and paid dividends in his first start. He had 18 days between starts, gave him plenty of time to work on something, and I think it made him better.
Well, I think it's another thing is a reminder that, look, it hasn't really gone great. You're one pitch away from getting out of this unscathed.
Already, though, in the bullpen. Ball in hand, and we're now 3-0 and 1 pitch away from bringing in a run. Virginia had 2 on in the first last night and didn't score. Three and 1.
I think you might see Robbie Coleman take another here. Certainly in this spot, bases loaded. If he throws you a heater here 3-1, you're probably going to get it 3-2, and you probably want to force him to throw another strike.
On the corner, he gets the call. That's a big one. That's called a ball. It's 1-0.
Down and away.
Make a living on that one.
Absolutely. DeLay kind of reached for it and stabbed at it a little bit. I think that maybe gave it the look of more down the way, but huge pitch here.
Center field. Reynolds right there. And Buehler celebrates as the bench explodes to greet him. Last night, Vanderbilt couldn't score with runners in scoring position. And right now, Virginia early on, unable to do the same. Buehler and the Commodores survive a shaky top of the first, and now they come to the plate. We're back. That's the result of the ball ending up on the glove of Brian Reynolds. Momentum was all Virginia's until that final out of that inning, and no runs come across, despite 2 hits. And now Tim Corbin assumes the position down there as the third base coach. He won it all in 2014 and the National Coach of the Year. He's been quite a story there at Vanderbilt. He took over after coaching a couple of different spots And he has turned this into a juggernaut. Let's take a look at our Capital One starting lineup for Tim Corbin. Dansby Swanson's right in the middle of it, although struggling a little bit.
Yeah, it's been a quiet College World Series, but one of the most decorated Vanderbilt Commodores in history, looking to go out with a bang tonight in what's been a tremendous college career.
We've talked plenty about Brandon Waddell and the impact that he's had on Virginia's run both last year and this year at the College World Series, and he has been outstanding both years. For the left-hander, you see a fastball that will get close to 90 miles an hour. Experience should help, and it has helped in Waddell's previous starts. Needs to vary all night between the cutter, the changeup away. The changeup is very good, and against a Vanderbilt team that likes to run, hasn't run a lot in this series, but likes to run, controlling the pace, key tonight for Waddell.
Pitched Saturday against Florida and was great. Brian Reynolds gets the leadoff position tonight. Ro Coleman sits, and there's that first cutter, and it's in for a ball. In his game against Florida, the Gators just beat the ball into the ground. 11 ground outs. There's a guy that's been the leadoff guy almost all season, Ro Coleman. You heard Jess Mendoza talk about it. The previous time that Reynolds hit leadoff, he hit a home run against Louisville. Coleman did have a hit last night. And now Waddell falls behind.
And remember, Waddell going on 3 days rest, so that's certainly short rest, so keep an eye on that command for him early in this game.
Four pitches, 4 balls, and just like Virginia, Vanderbilt gets their leadoff man on. That brings up Rhett Weissman out of Mansfield, Massachusetts, the junior right fielder. 5 for 20 in the College World Series. More difficult to run with a lefty on the mound, but that's been a huge weapon for Vanderbilt all year. 106 steals, ranks them among the tops in the country. And they have been very, very quiet at the College World Series. Only 4 steals.
And Carl, I think Virginia deserves a little credit. Connor Jones from the right side had a pickoff in game 1 of the CWS finals, and then in last night's game another pickoff of Jaron Kendall. So there's a little apprehension, these Vanderbilt runners, knowing what a good job these pitchers have done in slowing that running game.
And as far as pitching coaches' trips to the mound, it's now 1-1. As Carl Kuhn heads out there. And one of the keys for Waddell's success, Kyle, and you know it, is his composure, his coolness. Today, typical day, went out to lunch with his folks, his sister, laid kind of low, never really makes it feel like it's a bigger moment than it is. And his June success, his College World Series success, I think the engine's going a little too quick.
It could be, but what you're seeing right now with the control issues have been the challenge for Waddell the entire season. He walked more guys this year than he did the last 2 years combined. And so from a control standpoint, Waddell just hasn't been quite as sharp over the course of the year as he was last year and the year before. Now, he's been pretty good here.
Yep.
You can see already whether you're rushing, which happens a lot when you're excited. Try to run that ball to home plate instead of letting your body work.
Yeah, and in 3 days rest, that's oftentimes the issue, and why even at the big league level you see guys apprehensive to do it. It's not the stuff. Guys will physically go out there, especially with the adrenaline, and be themselves, but it's that fine-tuned command that makes them very good pitchers.
Josh Spores is not available tonight. Nathan Kirby, another starter who's been injured, is. But one difference between the two teams tonight, Vanderbilt's bullpen rested, and because Spores threw so many pitches last night, 77, he's tired. He's yawning. It's exhausting.
Nathan Kirby just down a line from him. I would suspect that we will see Kirby at some point tonight.
On the corner, called strike 1. Jeff Hendricks is calling balls and strikes. Perry Costello, Frank Sylvester, Mike Morris around the infield. Left field, Patrick Riley, and the right field umpire is Barry Chambers. Certainly appreciate them all tournament long wearing the ump cam, allowing the microphones to be on them to allow the viewer a close-up look at this game. There's one, and a good one after the Kuhn visit. A couple of good pitches for strikes. Staying away from the lefty, and if you look at the outfield, there is a enormous, and they've played Weissman this way, but there's such an enormous, look at where the left fielder is relative to the line, and the center fielder and right fielder are right next to each other.
Yeah, I would challenge you to ever see that kind of an alignment where they're blatantly to pull in right and center, and then almost like a pull lefty, although now we see, or a pull righty and left, although now we see him straighten out just a bit. But Kyle, that goes to really the scouting reports and all the information now becoming more readily available at the college level.
Well, Weissman almost made a pay last night, lined out to the shortstop, but if a ball like that gets over Pinero's head, it's going to roll for a while.
And with a guy that lives with a cutter whose ball is moving away, it seems to be a pitch that you can hit to left field as a lefty. Just underway in this winner-take-all Game 3 of the CWS Finals. Virginia had the bases loaded in the top of the first and didn't score. Brian Reynolds with a walk to lead things off for Vanderbilt. 2-2, left field it goes. Kevin Doherty came in, now goes back, and it goes over his head. It goes up against the wall. Reynolds held at third, and Weissman, who does go to left field, with a double. It looked like Doherty may have lost it in the sun, which is in his eyes.
I think he definitely lost it in the sun, and there's that scouting report. I mean, he was played perfectly. This ball is hit very well the other way, and a breaking ball off the plate away. Clement, you can see, just really struggling. He's got his sunglasses on, but he is in that hardcore sun field right now. The ball's kind of slicing on him, and he just can't get to it, and a huge two-strike hit for Rhett Weissman.
And that brings up Dansby Swanson, who's been at the top of all the lists when it comes to offensive categories for Vanderbilt. The #1 overall draft pick in this year's draft, with a big chance here early. Liked what he saw, but he fouled it off.
Yeah, and look, he had a good swing on that ball, a good aggressive swing. In this situation, he's looking to work the ball the other way with no outs, and Virginia conceding the run in the infield. Man, he wants to drive one in and move that runner over to third base by going that way, but unable to put it in play.
Let's see if Waddell saw that and tries to take some of that away, because if you can throw the cutter in against that approach, if you get a swing, that's when you might get a soft little ground ball back to you. But if Swanson reads it early, could hook it down the line and clear the bases.
Along with Spores and Hazley last night, Vanderbilt's inability to score in these situations. 0 for 10 with runners in scoring position and 3 strikeouts. Swanson's the junior out of Marietta, Georgia. "15 home runs this year, a .337 overall batting average, 24 doubles, 63 runs batted in. Everything you'd want in a #1 pick, including a great glove at shortstop." Slow roller. Here comes Reynolds from third. He'll score. Swanson thrown out. Vanderbilt scores first.
Well, a nice play by Kenny Towns and really good execution by Brandon Waddell, actually getting that cutter in on the hands, but because it wasn't hit very hard, Vanderbilt very fortunate to get that run in and get that runner to third with less than 2 outs. As you see, the Vanderbilt faithful back in Nashville taking this one in.
They want more than that. They did it last year. They're doing it again at the football stadium. Bring some blankets, free of charge. They're watching that on the big screen, and they got themselves a 1-0 lead And now with one down, the infield comes in for Xander Wheel.
And that cutter that we just saw, it's a good one. But in there, I think that's a pitch these right-handed hitters of Vanderbilt need to try to ignore.
Wheel pulls it down the line, but it goes foul, and that had home run distance on it.
I mean, there's a perfect example. It's a little too far in. Now the mistake one that's middle in, that's the ones that's just going to show up. But I think with Waddell, whose fastball changeup, that's a good swing there. Yeah. But the pitch location turns it into strike one.
Wheel, like Swanson, 15 home runs this season. Weissman as well. They got guys with 15 home runs. Matt Theis for Virginia leads them. He had only 10. Wheel, fair ball down the line. Weissman scores easily. Wheel goes to second base. He's got a double. Commodores got a 2-0 lead in the first.
Well, this one he does keep fair. They go back to the cutter. It's in off the plate. I told him not to swing at it. He keeps this one fair. Pulls those hands in just inside the bag. He gets the barrel of the bat to it. Not an easy thing to do right there. And a big second run here for Vanderbilt.
That's a really good one-pitch adjustment right there, because I mean it's a minute difference between the ball he just hooked into the stands and the ability to keep it fair, but keeping those hands inside just a little bit more kept that ball fair and pushed another run across for Vanderbilt.
And you saw Rhett Weissman there, right there, telling the next guy on deck, he's cutting it, he's cutting it.
Second double of the inning, and that brings up the freshman Will Toffey, who's been moved up one spot with Reynolds hitting leadoff. On the ground to first, Smith. He flips it to Waddell, and up to third base goes Wheel. What a change, though, from the first inning. Virginia had 2 men on, nobody out, loaded them up and couldn't score. And then Vanderbilt comes back in the bottom half. They get runners on, and they're able to plate at least 2.
And it's amazing how one little play, Robbie Coleman put together a good at-bat, hit a ball real sharply to center, but right at that center fielder. Vanderbilt's been able to cash in, though.
Back-to-back freshman Jaron Kendall comes up. He plays left field. Good power hit, a walk-off home run earlier in the College World Series. 8 homers on the season. Two runs tonight already, last night 0. And the runners in scoring position statistic stands out from last night. Puts Virginia in a real tough spot to have Waddell throw the amount of pitches and to be stress high here in the first. They just don't have the arms in the pen.
They don't. I mean, Nathan Kirby's the one that you can go to, but Nathan Kirby's probably not going to throw more than 50 pitches tonight. And the ideal for Virginia is if Waddell went 5 or 6, maybe you had a chance for Kirby to finish it, but he's not finishing the ballgame if he's coming in the third.
Saw Kendall's family there in the stands. Comes from Holman, Wisconsin. And this is a guy you watch the next couple of years has a chance to make a big impact on the college baseball landscape. If he gets on, he can fly. He's got 19 stolen bases. And here comes the 1-2. Won't chase. Talked a lot about how Tim Corbin and Brian O'Connor like to scout the Northeast and go after athletes, not just baseball players. Both of these guys, the freshmen Toffey and Kendall, hockey superstars in high school. Look over on the other side, and Joe McCarthy was a football player and a basketball player. That concept of one sport-specific guy, these two coaches seem to want I want guys that can do a lot.
You know, I'll tell you this. I haven't talked to one head coach.
Yep.
Not one that said, I want the kid that just plays baseball. Every one of them want the more well-rounded athlete in high school.
Good like that. Bat came out of his hand. The ball stayed fair. Kendall's retired. But anchored down goes double down with 2 doubles and grabs a 2-0 lead.
A little different story offensively for Vanderbilt tonight. Double to left by Rhett Weissman. And then Xander Wheel, hands pulled in, keeps it fair down the left field line. That double scored another 2. Vanderbilt runs in the first through 1. It's 2-0 advantage.
Every NCAA champion gets one. You've seen them all hoisting them up, holding in their hands the final, tangible evidence of what was once just a dream. But here in Omaha, their job is to bring that dream to life, crafting every NCAA championship trophy with their hands so each triumphant team can raise it in theirs.
And they make those trophies right down the road. Back-to-back College World Series titles. There's only been 7 of them. South Carolina the last to do it. Oregon State in 06 and 07. Texas started that back-to-back thing off back in 1949 and 50. And now a guy that's really had some hard luck. Joe McCarthy steps in. He's been able to hit the ball hard. He just hasn't been able to find the spaces as Walker Buehler pitches with a lead here in the top of the second.
This is one of those big statement innings, I think, for Walker Buehler. He gets out of a big jam after throwing 20 pitches. His team gets him 2. What kind of night is he going to have? Does he have a shutout inning in him or a shutdown clean inning in him? I think it goes a long way in the Walker Buehler we're going to see tonight.
Guys, some dugout talk from Walker Buehler. He came in that last half inning and he's like, as much as I didn't want to load the bases, that's what ignited our offense. It happened against Virginia last year. Scored 4 runs. We came back. We scored 4. So I don't want to do it again, but got our offense going.
McCarthy flies that one into the seats.
He's a giver. He's a giver, that Walker.
So nice.
The junior from Scranton, Pennsylvania. Got 1 hit, and it was a home run. And he's gone. And that's the Buehler that we saw in his first start here.
See a little hop after he let it go?
Yeah.
And when a golfer just pures one and they kind of spin the club in their hands when they let it go. Watch this. And you'll see it from Buehler. When he likes it, there's a little hop at the end. And that's when he really got through it in the right spot, 93. And it just froze McCarthy. Like he's looking for a breaking ball or something off speed right there. And Buehler just pumped the fastball in there for his second strike out of the game.
You know that spinning thing that have you ever done, Booney? No. I haven't spun one yet.
You know what I'm talking about?
I used to see Tiger Woods. Is that the thing he used to do where he'd hit it and spin it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Pick your tee up and walk away. You were big at that the other day. Hit your drive, pick your tee up. Who was even look at it?
Who? What?
You. That power draw, cut, fade right down the middle. And
Yeah. I was picking the tee up because I knew I'd lose the ball. I wanted to keep the tee. All part of the greatness that is Omaha, though. The folks treat you so well here.
Yeah.
Get a chance to get out, meet the folks, play some golf, eat at the restaurants, watch great baseball. Ground ball to third. Toffee waits, throws across the diamond, and he gets started by a step. But it is a labor of love. I mean, this is 2 straight weeks that you're here watching the best in college baseball play in the field this year. When you have those 8 teams and you think about Florida, who likely is going to be a top team next year, maybe the #1 overall team when the season begins. TCU's pitching. Miami got back here. LSU is back here. With all the things that the college baseball community did with the baseball, it felt like at least the right 8 were here.
yeah, no, I agree. I mean, kind of from a brand standpoint, from a talent standpoint, it was a good mix. And I think the other thing, too, you fast forward a year from now, I'd be shocked if 2, maybe 3 of these guys that we've seen in this College World Series aren't in the big leagues already. I think it's going to be a quick road for a lot of them.
Who do you got?
Farrell?
Riley Farrell, TCU.
Eshelman.
Thomas Eshelman from Cal State.
Thomas Eshelman from Cal State Fullerton. And Carson Fulmer, if you want to put him in the bullpen. I think potentially you could push him quick if you wanted him in the bullpen.
We saw that last year. Remember, Brandon Finnegan was the TCU pitcher who ended up pitching for the Royals out of the bullpen.
Totally agree with your list, by the way, in that order. Thing about Carson Fulmer going to the White Sox, though, who aren't really in the race, unless they turn it around in a big-time way, they won't rush him up. They'll want to get him and do all they can to make him one of their starters of the future.
Ernie Clement, he was big last night, out of the bottom of the order.
But the talent really has, I think, leaped off the screen, even more so than last year. Obviously, it's College World Series. You're going to get great players, but this year, the level of play, it's been outstanding.
Breaking ball in there for a strike, and give Walker Buehler a 2-run lead. And all of a sudden, it's Buehler's day on. Outstanding pitching in the second inning with the 2 strikeouts.
Well, 13 pitches this inning, and he did what they asked, a shutdown inning. Curveball to get him. Little Zestos.
Milkshake time.
Bring that here. Come on now.
Game 3 of the CWS Finals, winner take all, as we welcome you to ESPN's continuing coverage of the NCAA College World Series presented by Capital One. It has been ideal weather conditions over these last 2 weeks, and the fans getting set for summer break once this college baseball season ends. The selfies have made their way to Omaha. And the fans of these teams, whatever hotels that they're staying in, will send them off with a 2-line ovation as they make their way to the buses. We saw that with both Vanderbilt and Virginia all week long. Bottom 2 already up 2-zip. Penn Murphy is the designated hitter tonight. He gets his first start and first at bat since the regional game against Radford. That was back on June 1st. Hometown kid right out of Nashville. Kind of feels like Waddell needs a quick shutdown inning.
Yeah, he just does not look comfortable, and the ability to repeat so far tonight. I mean, the tough thing is the only thing that's been repeatable is that fastball that's up arm side. Just having a hard time finishing, getting that ball down in the zone.
And the misses are all in the same spot.
And there is Nathan Kirby, as we've talked about. How much does he have in him? Kyle talked about probably too early to go to him to expect him to have any chance of going deep in this game.
Spins that one in there to get the count to 3-1. Murphy, followed by Jason DeLay and Tyler Campbell, 7, 8, 9.
Well, we'll see if Waddell starts going back to the changeup a little bit, because he has a very, very good changeup, and he's gotten away from it a little bit because the cutter has become so important.
On the ground, a third, tough play, short hop by Towns. Pretty play by the third baseman, who's made only 9 errors all year.
Well, Towns continues to play outstanding defense. We saw a nifty bare hand play last night. A good job coming in on a ball from Dansby Swanson in the first. And here, watch him work to the short hop. Good decision. Fight to that short hop makes it a much easier play. Any indecisiveness there, it turns into an in-between hop. Well done by the senior.
Jason DeLay now bats. And a big first out after falling behind. There's that changeup, but it misses. Vanderbilt offense, a couple of doubles in the first inning. Last night, 7 singles. And that was it. Well, he's missing, Kyle. He's not missing by much, but he's missing away.
And they've tried it, and I think that's part of it too. And if you see offensively, Wheel hit a cutter in on his hands. Weisman hit a cutter out away from him. And he can pitch off of that changeup. I mean, you can totally change the approach and get him moving away from the right-handed hitters.
Yep, I'm good, thanks.
You got to throw it over.
This one to left. You can see that the sun has gone down behind the stadium. It's not in Kevin Doherty's eyes anymore, and he makes the play. Well, the NBA draft is right here. Lakers, Knicks, other teams at the top of the draft. Who are they going to go with? Who's the next cornerstone? Karl Anthony Towns, Jahlil Okafor. What's home going to be for them? It's time for the NBA draft Thursday, 7 Eastern on ESPN. It's presented by State Farm. I saw a picture today tweeted out by Darren Ravel of a baseball in Jahlil Okafor's hands. It looked like a ping pong ball. Honestly, he hit the ball. I mean, it disappeared in his hands. One hand. Tyler Campbell bats ninth. Didn't miss by much either, but he got the first two in this inning. Well, Kyle, are you pitching coach for them? Because he's gone to the changeup a lot here.
The one thing you can do, though, is and Waddell has the ability to do this. You can go back and basically go, okay, I'm going to go two-seam changeup. So I'm going to throw two-seam fastball changeup, and now I'm going to live on the outer part of the plate to the right-handers. And if they adjust to that, then I can come back and throw a few more cutters.
Well, Kyle, that's a good reaction because Vandy's plan coming in was to look for that cutter in early and be aggressive. And it seems like he's responding to that, and they're swinging over and early on the changeup when they see it early in the count.
Tyler Campbell comes from Portland, Maine. Hit 232, 2 homers during the regular season, and he's hitting .167, 2 hits and 12 at bats in the College World Series. And there's that cutter, much better inning from Brandon Waddell. Changeup was effective, and only 2 runs so far for Vanderbilt. We'll come back top of the order coming up for Virginia.
They weren't supposed to be here. Counted out. But the Cavaliers were destined to come back, so they went out west and came back victorious. Down late to Maryland twice, they managed to come back. And now for the second straight year, they find themselves back in Atlanta. Don't count them out just yet.
8 players selected in the 2014 Major League Baseball draft. Last year, a very different team. They had Nick Howard, they had the offensive Derek Fisher, and Mike Pappy. And since June 14, they lost 146 games to injuries for freshman starters. Each game they've been required to use. 9-2 in the tournament, 1 win away from winning it all. And it'll be the school's first title. We're back to the top of the order. Things got off to a good start in the first. But Adam Hazley led off with a single. Danny Pinero followed it. And they could not bring any runs in. .92 and up. And Hazley's very symbolic of the entire Virginia season. Center fielder, outfielder, called on to pitch last night. Back to center field tonight. And gets a hit his first at bat and just swung through a changeup to fall behind 1-2.
An outing from Hazley last night, though. I mean, it can't be overstated how good that was. And I think because it was that long with zero, how surprising it was. I mean, you thought if he just gave him 3, 4, we'll take it. 5 shutout from Hazley last night.
2 fouled off.
I mean, it was fun watching the drama unfold and like, okay, how much more can we get out? How much more? And then to send them back out there for the 6th.
And you could say, I mean, he was
What a
gassed.
performance. A
He
month.
was gassed.
Yeah, he was. 1 month.
It was the, you know, Daytona 500 or Indianapolis 500 where the guy says, I don't know if I can make the next 2 with enough gas in the tank, but we're gonna push it. We're gonna do another spin.
Coast across the finish line.
Exactly. And they just couldn't hit him. They could not square a ball up against him. It was odd in a way to watch it. Almost like a knuckleballer, and I don't mean to take away from his velocity, but you'd think a team like Vanderbilt would have been able to figure it out, and they couldn't. Hazley was that good. Lays off a 3-2, and for the second time, he's on.
Walker Buehler gets ahead 2 strikes early and looks like he was going to have the start to another real clean inning. But Adam Hazley, his second good at bat in a row, just battle, and lays off one above the zone.
And that was almost the exact same pitch that he swung through early in that at bat. Had a fastball up and out of the zone, swung through it, had time to take.
And now Daniel Pinheiro, big kid, 6'5". Spent last summer working out, putting some muscle on, and as a result, his home runs went up dramatically this season.
You know, Pinheiro, I think, just kind of embodies what this Virginia team just seems to represent. I mean, he's a guy just plays really poised. Carl, you and I were talking about just the handful of just quality plays he's made. Look routine in the middle of the diamond. It's a guy you want up in a big spot. That
made a couple of double plays last night. And that one's away. And in a year dominated by shortstops.
Yeah.
You know, you had Swanson. As you take a look at Daniel's parents, Elena and Ronaldo, again from Toronto, Ontario. Bregman. Gator shortstop, outstanding as well. That one's called a strike, 2-2.
Well, now technically Daniel's the only one in this family who's Canadian. His mother, Elena, she's from Russia. His father, actually from Cuba. Now they told me that Daniel hit his growth spurt in 10th grade, shot up to 6'2". Ever since then, it's changed his game, and as soon as he figured out how to use that length.
Ground ball runner was going. They get the force, and off the base runner's head while he's standing on the base. Tim Corbin's going to come out.
Well, first off, it's a great job by Dansby Swanson with the runner moving. Hazley was running on the pitch, and you see him just get it to the second baseman quickly, and he's definitely out at second. Now, what is the runner entitled to do? He slides directly into the bag, and with that pop-up slide, see it go off the helmet there.
And Tim's arguing that the base runner, which, as you know, Aaron, from your major league experience, you run the risk if you're running into second base of getting hit by a baseball. In this case, the question is going to be, did he intentionally get in the way of the throw?
Well, the rules are obviously different major league and college. In major leagues, you'll see them go in and try and take out that second base. And in college, you've got to slide directly to the bag. The question is, does that pop-up, Kyle, create an issue from a rule standpoint?
Well, and you can pop up. You can pop up, and now in college baseball, you can go through the base as long as you're going directly through it. You know, as opposed to the major league rule, you just have to reach it. Here, you've got to go through it. I don't think there's anything wrong with it.
No.
I mean, I think from a pop-up standpoint, you're allowed to do that. I also don't think he was trying to get hit in the melon with the throw either. I mean,
I think it was his natural slide in, and he was popping up.
And as a guy that's played in the middle of the infield there, and you'll see second baseman either step back towards right field, come across the bag, and in that case, Tyler Campbell got it so late he almost didn't have an opportunity to move out of the way of the runner. So Matt Theis bats, He hits one on the ground. This may be a double play. Swanson got him. Campbell and Swanson have become a very, very good duo up the middle. So they've had base runners on in the first and third inning, but Virginia's been erased twice. And the Commodores come to the plate in the bottom of the third, leading by 2. Welcome back, everyone. Bottom 3 CWS Finals. Vanderbilt's got a 2-0 lead. The winner is the champion of the 2015 college baseball season. And it's been quite a season for Vanderbilt. Another 50-plus win season for them. Think about when Tim Corbin took over. This was a school that has been playing baseball since the 1800s. 1886, and before Tim Corbin showed up, they didn't have a 40-win season. Since then, 13 of them. And to make it back to Omaha is one thing. To get back to the championship series is another. To win is even another. And he made a lineup change when the night began. He inserted Brian Reynolds into the leadoff spot. Ro Coleman had been struggling a little bit, said he wanted a little more power at the top. And it paid off in the first inning, not from a power perspective, but from base runners as they get 2. Reynolds walked, and then Weissman hit a double.
Well, the power perspective is nice, but Brian Reynolds has been on fire for the better part of a month now in the NCAA tournament, on base well over 500. And to have that at the top, that leadoff walk, helped lead to that 2-run inning.
Let's go down to Jess.
Well, guys, here I'm with Brian Reynolds' parents, Michelle and Greg. Lots of fun stories about young Brian, but for right now, he's in the leadoff position, hasn't been here a lot. What does that say a lot about his psyche, being able to move around?
I think this is a testimonial to how great Coach Corbin is, and how he has given this opportunity to Brian. Brian struggled for a good part of the end of the season, and Corbin stayed with him, and now he's trusting him with the leadoff spot. I really feel blessed and to have the opportunity to witness this.
Well, and you told me some fun stories about Brian. When we first started playing, I mean, when he was younger, he has a business-like approach now, but when he first started playing Dirt Angels at shortstop, I mean, he was out there having fun. Tell me about a younger Brian.
Well, my first memory of baseball and Brian was having him out in our front yard in Nolensville, Tennessee, teaching him how to hit. He was 3.5 years old, and I got real close with those little soft balls, and I would toss them to him, and he'd hit it across the street. And he hit our neighbor's garage door so many times that we got to be good friends with the neighbors across the street. They're dear friends of ours now, and they come and see Brian play. But he always had quite a swing, even as a little bitty guy.
Well, he still has one now. And Michelle, you were telling me, 6 years old, Brian, a little competitive. He got kicked out of his first championship game. Tell me about that experience.
He did. There was a 10-run.
I think we lost Jessica's microphone. We'll get back to it in just a moment as Reynolds grounds out. And if we do pick up that microphone, yes, that was David Price, who was sitting directly in front of Jess and the Reynolds family. There he is right there. Go ahead, Jess.
Sorry, I'll let her continue that story. Go ahead.
But his coach told him he had to keep running. He ran, and I'm sorry. The coach was on third base, told him to run. He ran. The catcher was coming in. They collided, and at 6 years old, Brian got kicked out of the game. And he was so upset about it, but I took him. I got him some candy, and he was okay, but the team ended up winning, and we won the championship, and they won it for him.
You guys got to see Brian win it last year. I'm sure it's a pleasure to be able to see him this year. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jess. I mean, candy's always the elixir. It's either ice cream or candy for a little guy. Little girl. Now Rhett Weissman, he had a double his first. With that double by Weissman and then Wheel, the trio of the guy we just saw, Brian Reynolds, Wheel and Weissman, They have 22, more than half of Vandy's 40 hits in the College World Series. They have 10 of the 14 extra base hits and 11 of the 19 runs that have been scored by Weissman, Wheel, and Reynolds. Tonight they bat 1, 2, and 4. That one is ripped into right field, and a good job by Rhett Weissman. He is 2 for 2 tonight and continues to have a great NCAA tournament.
Well, it does continue, and at times in this World Series we've seen him struggle with putting the ball in play, but another looked like cutter or slider down and away. Last time he drove it the opposite field, but there he's able to keep that bat in the hitting zone for a long time. And another breaking ball that he puts a good swing on in this College World Series. At times he struggled with the fastball up and out of the strike zone.
Dansby Swanson is 4 for 21, sub 200. But if you think about all the distractions that have been going on for Dansby Swanson, whether it be the draft, the fact that they're back here, the idea that this is going to be the last after 3 great years at Vanderbilt, night of playing with these guys, there is something to be said for those. And he's been able to really compartmentalize them and play very well, obviously, with his numbers. But he is not necessarily looked exactly the same as we've seen him here in the College World Series. Take a look at the flags out there in center field, blowing from left to right. And out a little bit. Swanson powered all fields. You get the sense that he's kind of ready to go. Squares to bunt on a pitch way outside. Unprecedented success for this junior class, and that goes back to last year and the guys that they had on the team. Tim Corbin talks about the maturity of this group and the idea that like a parent who's got a 16, 17-year-old, you're kind of sitting in the back seat, you're letting them really take charge. He said the leadership from Swanson and Weissman on this team has allowed him to really be more of an observer and a guide as opposed to somebody who's got to do as much coaching.
And credit to Tim Corbin for, you know, he's in charge of what's become a monster program now in college baseball, and the wherewithal to understand that, hey, the leadership group on his club is capable of handling a lot of situations, policing itself in a lot of ways. So in a lot of ways, he's been hands off with this team, which is easier said than done, especially in college baseball.
1-2 on the way to Swanson. Cutter inside, 2-2.
You know, it's interesting too, in talking to Tim Corbin, he said it's one of the ways that he's changed over the years as a coach. It's just having the ability to do that. To trust the guys that he has, and you don't always have groups like he has this year. I mean, certain years you can't trust him, but this year you can. And he's done it, and he's really made it their team.
Well, and I think it goes back to the recruiting process as well. And both these guys, Brian O'Connor and Tim Corbin, I think have been tremendous. Man, they like athletes. They like to go look for athletes first and foremost. But then you're also recruiting the kid and the character of the kid and the person. And when you have good people infiltrated into your program and your system, it makes a big deal. And both these programs have been tremendous.
Yes, it is.
Held on to, and Swanson strikes out. Let's compare the two because they really have built, as you mentioned, juggernauts and very similar numbers. The championships aside, all else is indicative of teams that are going to be there for the long haul. We talked about facilities earlier this week, the type of people they get, and really the type of people they are.
And I think what's even more impressive is how similar both situations were before they got there. I mean, they stepped into spots that were not easy jobs.
Well, and think about We see David Price in the crowd. We've seen Sonny Gray in the crowd last year. Sean Doolittle for Virginia has come back to watch, and that just speaks to the programs these guys have built and the love affair between player and program.
Aaron, David Price was just saying too, he was up until 4 in the morning last night. He had a 6 a.m. flight to get here, and he was up till 4 because he felt like he had lost last night's game. He's like, I feel like I'm on this team. And he got up early. He's like, I'm going on 2 hours of sleep, but there is no other place I'd rather be than watching these Commodores.
Price had great success, but never got it to Omaha with his team. He tweeted out earlier today, no way I'm missing this game. The person there to his left is Carter Hawkins, who played at Vanderbilt, is now the director of player development for the Indians. Tigers, of course, played the Indians. 1-0 to Wheel. Throw down at first. Nice job over there by Smith to scoop it. Otherwise, you'll see Weissman at second base.
He spin his wheels a little bit there.
He did, and I was actually looking out there because I thought at some point they've been so quiet over there. He gets a good jump, goes first move, but you see him kind of slip and then have the wherewithal to be able to shut it down and scamper back to first base. And Waddell, that's not much of a move over to first base. But that's pretty much his move. But he is quick to home plate. And because of that, it's going to force Vanderbilt to have to go first move if they are going to run against the lefty, which becomes a bit of a guessing game.
3-0.
I think you turn him loose. He wants to take a pass. I think you let him go.
And that one broke down, but not low enough. And now 2 men are on as Xander Wheel gets the walk. He's been on twice. And this has not been easy for Brandon Waddell, whose numbers we talked about, 5-2, 285. Outstanding in the 4-game start of the College World Series. But he can look around at his fielders. He can look out at that bullpen. It's his game.
Yeah. The amount of rope he gets tonight is pretty significant because they need him. Alec Bettinger now up and throwing, but just playing a little bit of catch. Waddell will be given every opportunity to work himself out of jams. And I don't think you'll see Nathan Kirby trot down to that bullpen and even if needed start to throw until the 5th or 6th.
In there for a strike. It was the freshman last night who got it done for Virginia, and now a couple of freshmen coming up for Vanderbilt.
Yeah, just 188, but 3 RBI. And if you take it back to the NCAA tournament as a whole, 9 RBIs. Coffey is a guy that looks to be with a bright future at Vanderbilt here, probably in the middle of the lineup.
On the corner, it's called a strike. And Jeff Hendricks now has it 0-2 for Brandon Waddell. Given Buehler and Vanderbilt's bullpen, any lead bigger than 2 was going to feel huge for Vanderbilt. Last year he pitched in this College World Series, did Waddell. It was game 2. He needed to come up big, and he threw a complete game. And it forced a game 3. He beat Vanderbilt last year, but down 2-0 tonight.
I like that one there.
Yeah, and Kyle, for as much as he's kind of been feeling his way and in a way scuffling, He's a pitch away now from being through the third and through the middle of this order again, with a manageable pitch count with a chance to get through the middle of this game.
When the longer he's out there, the more that you think, all right, he's going to find it. He's going to find the slot that he had before. And there's been glimpses of it. It just hasn't been quite as consistent as the first 2 starts here in Omaha.
2 outs hits have been a big story in Omaha this year. 2-2. Before that second Florida start, Waddell at the College World Series had 3 games that he started, all of them 7 or more innings, and 1 earned or fewer. He had an ERA of 0.78 before that second Florida start here in Omaha. He's been able to get out of these jams, and he may be doing it again. It's Towns and Panera over there. Towns under it. He strands 2. Brandon Waddell keeps Virginia alive. Towns makes the catch. Towns comes to the plate. 4-5-6 due up at the College World Series, Game 3. Top of the 4th, College World Series, CWS Finals, Game 3, winner take all. Vanderbilt's got a 2-0 lead. We've talked a lot about Virginia and the road that they kind of navigated to get here, but Vanderbilt, once they got here, they afforded themselves a couple of breaks as well. Against Cal State Fullerton, Thomas Eshelman was dealing against him. He had himself a lead. There was very little chance, it appeared, that Vanderbilt was going to be able to solve one of the nation's best pitchers. Titans went ahead. The rains came, and the game had to be suspended. 3-2 count to Xander Wheel with 2 outs. We come back, and he delivers what turned out to be a double, and it felt like that moment turned that suspended game around. And then, speaking of turning around, Jaron Kendall hit the walk-off home run. So Vanderbilt benefits from a rain-suspended game. And the 3 of us certainly believe that if Eshelman were able to stay and that game were to continue, there was nothing to indicate Vanderbilt was going to touch him.
Oh, it's amazing when you think back to what that changed. I mean, that was the opener in this College World Series. They lose that game, and Vanderbilt definitely had the pitching to get through the loser's bracket, but the route would have been so much different, and the rotation in the finals would have been so much different.
Mother Nature co-MVP, perhaps, if Vandy wins it all. Kenny Towns looks at a Buehler changeup for a strike. That was really the only night or day that was affected by the weather. 1-1. Ripped. Just foul. Towns struck out in his first up. Play with guys who, when the men were on, that's the guy you wanted up. And I don't mean you're a 3-4 guy, but somebody who just always came through like this guy did.
Yeah, Hideki Matsui. I always felt like
men on, that's our guy.
I mean, they could bring in the toughest lefty to try and get him out, and it seemed like he always delivered in that big spot. He's the guy for me.
So Kenny Towns, Hideki Matsui.
Yes.
Okay.
No relation.
Makes sense. No.
Battling here 1-2 on the 51st pitch of the night from Buehler. He had struck himself out.
Well, Towns, remember, a couple of good breaking balls in his first at bat with runners in scoring position, finished them with a breaking ball. I think that fastball caught him off guard. I think he was protecting against that breaking ball. A little 92 on the inside corner. He walked it off and said, thank you.
He lays off of that one. I mean, you'll see the fielders kind of sell the hitters sell the strikeout on himself. Not a lot. I get the tip of the cap thing and all that, but you don't usually walk towards your own dugout.
Trying to stay loose.
That's a hard-earned walk. Sunday night, you'll be able to watch Chris Bryant, the Chicago Cubs. They'll take on Matt Carpenter with the Cardinals in St. Louis. That's 8 o'clock Eastern time. Baseball tonight, Sunday night countdown at 7 o'clock Eastern time. How about if the season were to end today? You dreaded if the season were. You'd have 3 teams from the NL Central in the postseason. Now Pavin Smith looks at a high fastball. 3 of the 4 innings now, Virginia's had a base runner.
I think this is a spot you got to try to get something out of. You get Pavin Smith, left-hander against a right-handed Buehler, leadoff man on right here.
Smith to right, and that one's deep. Rhett Weissman going back, looking up, and it's off the top of the wall. It looked like it went over the yellow for a 2-run home run, and we're tied. A freshman does it again for Virginia, and it's a new ball game.
Well, Kyle, we talked about Pavin Smith being one of the real sweet swingers in this College World Series. He hasn't had a great College World Series, but he's dangerous. And in his first at bat with a couple runners on and an open base at first, Walker Buehler pitched him very carefully, maybe a little too hard with that changeup there at 87 miles an hour and up in the strike zone, and you get a look at that sweet swing from the freshman.
Kid's going to be a really good player. We talked about Theis's swing from the left side. Pavin Smith's got a great looking swing from the left side too. 7th home run of the year, but the biggest of any he's hit in his college career. Ties it up.
Big Red. He goes yard, and now Walker Buehler's getting the meeting with Jason DeLay. That's the first home run allowed by Vanderbilt in this NCAA tournament. Matt Theis and the rest of them are all fired up. How about it? Kenny Towns thought that he had been struck out. Instead, he stays alive, draws the walk. He's on for the homer to tie it. That's the pitch right there that was called a ball twice against Towns and sent him to first. Good one in there too. Breaking ball, 1-2. Pavin Smith's 7th home run of his freshman year. Just outside, a little high. And now all of a sudden it feels like Buehler struggling. 15th home run we've had this year at TD Ameritrade. And that's a park record by a lot.
Well, now all of a sudden you're over 60 pitches for Walker Buehler, and after struggling through that first inning and having a smooth second, it almost looked like he was going to go on a nice little run, but the command, which Kyle's usually very good, has been spotty, and even though he didn't get a call, he's still been spraying that fastball enough around the zone to not get some close calls. We got the bullpen going now all of a sudden for Vanderbilt.
Well, and he's been 2-strike early on a fair amount of guys, and he just hasn't been able to finish him off. And whether it's, you know, nibbling and trying to be a little bit too fine that time, it almost like he was trying to flatten the slider out a little bit later in that at bat. John Kilichowski up early, up now, and he is warming to get ready to come into this bullpen, come into this ball game, because I do think the leash is going to be fairly short for Buehler from here on out.
Kilichowski's appeared in 16 games. And it may be now to face the lefty, as his 4 walks were a season high. And in a game where the championship will be decided, Vanderbilt has a leash. Virginia doesn't. And the bullpen is active and engaged. pretty long debate going on out there, and you wonder if Walker Buehler is trying his best to convince Tim Corbin to leave him in the game.
Now Tim Corbin might be asking, hey, where are those pitches to Kenny Towns? Pretty good over there. That's a head coach wanting to have his say with that umpire a little bit in a discreet manner.
Yeah, I think Buehler did too. Buehler kind of put his hand over his mouth, and I think he was having his own say himself.
So Buehler's out. It's a new ball game after a Pavin Smith home run. Top of the fourth, 2-2. Couple of freshmen there, Pavin Smith, Adam Hastley, Virginia, a hero last night, and so far a guy that has put himself in position to be another one. Pavin Smith goes yard off that guy. Walker Buehler taken out of the game tonight by Tim Corbin after just 61 pitches. And he gave up that big home run. He'd also walked 4 tonight, which was the season high for him. And that brings us to the lefty, John Kilichowski, the sophomore from Tampa, Florida. 6'5", 210-pounder. And really good numbers, 64 strikeouts and 65 in a third inning, only 14 walks.
Kilichowski, a guy that was a starter for much of this year, moved back to the bullpen, and since then has been outstanding. Their entire bullpen has been amazing through this NCAA tournament. 25 innings, they've given up 1 run. 1. That was Monday against Virginia.
Well, and this is a guy that's had a lot of starts too, so can give them multiple innings. And I think you'd like to see him at least go 1 time through the order, especially with the middle of the Virginia order and their good left-handed hitters.
This is a pretty good left-handed hitter up right here, Joe McCarthy. In spite of his numbers, he was outstanding last year for them.
Well, and the threat that he is forces this move. If this isn't Joe McCarthy from the left side, maybe he doesn't pull Walker Buehler yet in that spot. But I think the respect he has for McCarthy and his ability to run into a ball here, that's why you see the lefty this early.
Breaking pitch looked like it may have clipped the top of the strike zone, but called the ball. So the strike zone tonight a little tighter, I think, than we've seen it. I'm sure Buehler would agree with that. That one misses by a lot, now 2-0. Pours a fastball in there at 90 miles an hour. Kilichowski's appeared in 2 games at the College World Series, 4 2/3 innings. In those innings, he gave up 2 hits. He struck out 3 and walked 1. the glove of the third baseman, Toffee. Slowly to second and out at second base is Coleman. Not sure if he picked up on it that quickly. Toffee had it ring off his glove and the force out at second.
Well, and we've seen it this entire College World Series, the instincts, too, that Dansby Swanson plays with. The recognition right now, you see the little head turn, understanding exactly where Coleman is and knowing, okay, I've got time to go calmly get to this ball and make an accurate throw to second. So there's no rushing, there's no mistake there, and it's just that subtle little look, the instincts of the first pick.
It's a great point, because so often in a play like that, everything speeds up for the guys in the infield, and it seemed like there he was pretty comfortable slowing everything down.
You know, he knows he's got Robbie Coleman running, not great speed, but the recognition that he was freezing on that line drive to third, I've got plenty of time. They get the force out.
Say this about McCarthy. He continues to hit the ball pretty hard.
Yeah.
And not have a lot to show for it.
It's a misleading bottom line number there, too, because that's still, if you're Virginia, you don't mind having McCarthy up in a big spot in this ball game. He's hit a lot of balls on the barrel this week.
This one's going to get into the seats here at TD Ameritrade.
And the ball he hit last night would have gotten the seats tonight.
Yep.
McCarthy is 1 for 21 to Kyle's point about the bottom line. He's 0 for his last 20.
And if you're Virginia in that spot, you take that trade-off there of McCarthy with pretty good speed on base now as opposed to Coleman. So any extra base hit, or should he get to second, more inclined to score because of his speed.
Kevin Doherty grounded out to Toffee his first time up. 1-2. So a bullpen game for Vanderbilt. And new life for Brandon Waddell with a 2-run home run, the starter for Virginia. So you get Joe, and then you get Big Joe. And in Scranton, Pennsylvania, Big Joe works. Having spent some time in that area and lived there. Big Joe was a Gamecock in '81. He played in the College World Series for South Carolina. Big football town. Joe on the bases played baseball, football, basketball. 1-2 to Doherty. Spoils it.
Forward, please.
Almost got away. Kind of curious, Kyle, with a McCarthy on base who's got 3 steals all year. Why do you think they're throwing over and paying so much attention to that?
I don't know. It almost looked like there he had a one-way lead, too, that he was looking to see the best move that Kilichowski had. He was all the way out, but the weight was moving back to first base. McCarthy can run. And I think the stolen base numbers for Virginia are a little bit misleading of overall speed, just because they haven't run very much except for the first game here at the College World Series.
Right. 44 steals on the season, 100 plus for Vanderbilt.
Right, and the one thing that throwing over from a lefty and doing it frequently, it just lessens the chance that Virginia is going to put something on in a first move situation, which you're more inclined to do with not even a guy that necessarily steals a lot of bases.
Mm-hmm. Talk a lot about rhythm and pace, and last night Virginia didn't seem to have any. Right now Kilichowski doesn't have much of one going either. 2-2 through. Swanson there, flips for one, bare hand throw, no, but a nice job up the middle by Swanson and Campbell. Dansby to get it, and Campbell to hold on to it with a bare hand.
Well, it's a ball too. If Kilichowski gloves it, it's probably a double play. But Swanson breaking where he was, he's in the right spot. Watch Kilichowski. He's not a bad spot to field either. Just goes right underneath his glove, and then more athleticism from Swanson up the middle. Campbell tries to turn it, but no chance to get that double play, but you still get the lead runner.
Yeah, and if his momentum, it kind of kicks him, so he's got to go 360 there. I think in a perfect world, Dansby would have slid and just kind of backhand shuffled, and he would have got it to second base. I don't know if they get Doherty anyway, who runs pretty well down the line, but pretty good play nonetheless by the middle is infield, and Dansby Swanson again.
Ernie Clement was captain clutch last night. He delivered 3 hits. Squares, good bunt if it stays fair. They let it roll foul, and then they have a race for it, and Dansby Swanson touches it because there was a chance. It hits a pebble, kicks back onto the line.
Okay, so to your point earlier, that's another one. All right, and it might not seem like that big of a deal, but for Swanson to go all the way over and be the first one to touch this ball,
yes,
all it has to do is hit something else.
Yep. And it looked like it was thinking about it.
And watch, I mean, he's going to come out of nowhere here in a minute. If it catches that the wrong way and spins all the way back, it's got a chance to hit the bag all the way down there.
Yep.
That's a really heady play.
Well, first off, by Toffee of understanding with 2 outs, he's kind of conceding that a little bit, and he knew because it was pretty well executed, he had no chance, so to let it go. But then you're right, Swanson got some instincts out there.
0-1 is away to Clement. I don't mind the 2-out bunt for a hit either.
Yeah, I mean, especially Clement, who's, you know, hasn't hit for a lot of extra base hit power, you know, and he gets yourself a knock, and Hazley's had a couple good at bats tonight. Give her a chance to a base hit, take this lead.
Both third basemen tonight have been outstanding, Towns and Toffee. And there's the outs. Long top of the 4th.
Sweet swinging Pavin Smith, got a change up, put it in the seats.
First home run. And RBIs of the NCAA tournament for Big Red. 2-2 at the College World Series. Aaron Boone dancing to that song. He likes it as we rock and roll back here in Omaha, Nebraska. The ACC has not been rocking and rolling when it comes to college baseball. One national title came in 1955, and it was Wake Forest. Since then, they've been in 7 title games, but not won the crown. It has been brought up, though, by a few, especially those in our research department. This could be the year when you break those long droughts. We saw the Triple Crown, American Pharaoh. Golden State Warriors snapped a long drought of winning an NBA title, and maybe Virginia does it for the ACC. Drag bunt started here this inning, and out at first. How about Pavin Smith with the scoop? Jaron Kendall's the fastest guy on the team, and he's tossed out.
Well, for a left-handed pitcher, too, it's a much tougher play. For a right-hander, you can glove it, maybe make a throw on a run, but watch what Waddell has to do. Because of the speed, you just have to get rid of it as fast as he can. If he gloves it, there's no way that he makes the play. So we got a barehanded running away. Now backhand flip it, and Pavin Smith goes down. That's a great play all the way around.
We said sweet swinging. How about slick fielding now too? He looks like John Olerud out over there. The way he squats down like that. He's made a number of nice picks that we've seen in this College World Series. A huge first out, getting the speedy Jaron Kendall.
The designated hitter tonight is Penn Murphy, 0 for 1. Grounded out to the third baseman. So both coaches kind of mixing it up, going a little small ball here on a night we've seen one leave the building already with the wind blowing out towards right. Murphy rips it, and it's past Pinero. It's short. Murphy looks. He's going to second. The throw coming in. Safe. Good hustle by Penn Murphy.
Love it. And this is what Vanderbilt does. They force the issue. We haven't seen it in the form of the stolen base here, but this ball's rocketed, and he's thinking second all the way right now. I think he gets a little help from his first base coach, kind of encouraging him on. You see pretty good speed and athleticism there, and a big one-out double. He's fired up out there.
And these are Penn Murphy's first at-bats in the College World Series. And at-bats numbers 3 and 4 in the NCAA tournament. I mean, this is a kid that hasn't been in there very much, but still, the confidence to take a chance right there, you love it.
He's tonight's Thomas Woodruff.
Yeah.
Who showed up last night for Virginia.
Well, how about in Gerstenmeyer the night before, getting in the first time for him, lacing a hit. So these cameo appearances have been huge in the CWS finals.
And how about Tim Corbin? He moves Brian Reynolds to the top spot. That pays off. He DHs Penn Murphy tonight, and that's paid off. We keep talking about freshmen and whatnot. That Jaron Kendall, who was thrown out on that bunt attempt, Will Toffee. Murphy's a freshman, too. Jason DeLay, flied out to left his first time up.
Well, and now for Vanderbilt, even if they don't score here, when you get production from kind of unexpected places, Penn Murphy getting that double, the one thing it's probably guaranteed is that you're going to turn the lineup over again in this inning, even if you don't score. Then all of a sudden you're going in the fifth, and it's Brian Reynolds and the rest of that good 1 through 6 tonight lined up.
Good block behind the plate by Theis, because you know, we've seen it already, Murphy's got pretty good speed. DeLay and Ellison share the catching duties for Vanderbilt. DeLay played 36 games, Ellison 45. That one's foul. For more coverage of this College World Series, including interactive brackets and highlights, go to ncaa.com. Saw a lot of this last night. The pitch coming in late. You can hear the umpire kind of imploring, let's move it along. Good job.
Attaboy, Jeff Hendricks.
Good job by Jeff Hendricks.
Attaboy.
2-2. Almost hit him.
3-2.
Now, before the last half inning started, Carl Kuhn, UVA's pitching coach, sent Nathan Kirby out to the bullpen. Right after he did that, he went up to Brandon Waddell and he said, "We knew this was going to get ugly. It's going to be an ugly fight. You've got 5 guys behind you, but I need to get you to give me everything that you've got." Another important piece of this for Waddell, that's his relationship with Connor Jones, who we saw on the mound in Game 1. Connor told me the two of them talk to each other during their starts. They know how to keep each other level-headed, an important dynamic that's developed between Kuhn, Jones, and Waddell.
You got to go back to, I think, Kyle, you can speak to it, but Arizona that really was able to, I think it was 12, to win a College World Series title with 2 starting pitchers. And they really have had 2 starting pitchers here.
Yeah. No, you're right. I mean, they rode 2 arms basically through the whole thing. And Virginia knew they were going to have to do it that way. Even though Nathan Kirby started a ballgame, they knew that it was going to be limited from a pitch count standpoint. You needed the most out of Connor Jones and the most out of Waddell, and they have got that. Both have been really good.
DeLay. This one's playable. Pavin Smith going over there. Makes the catch. Now tagging from second is Murphy, and he's in safely at third.
So look at how much Murphy has changed his positioning based on what he does the first time. He hit the ball to left center, which could have been a single. He extends it to a double, and that time heads up. When he saw the adjustment that Pavin Smith had to make on that ball, then he immediately goes back to tag up. He could still be standing on first base if he doesn't try to extend the ball that he hit himself. But now he's 90 feet away and can score on a ball that goes to the backstop.
Well, and you're talking about a 9-hole hitter here in Ernie Clement, which, you know, forces Kenny Towns to probably have to respect the bunt, which opens up the, Tyler Campbell, which forces Kenny Towns to have to at least play a little more honest down there at third base.
Okay, here we go.
A .232 hitter in the number 9 spot this season with 26 runs batted in. Out of Portland, Maine, he started 60 of the 62 games. That one is fair. What a play by Towns. Can he throw him out? Yes! Wow, Kenny Towns saves a run.
Well, him playing shallow almost cost him, but as we've seen time and time again, Kenny Towns, almost even with the bag, uses every inch of his frame to spear it out. And how about the smooth footwork of Pavin Smith across the diamond? Just shuffles, but what a huge play by the senior, helped out by the freshman.
Well, we're all tied up in this College World Series final game. A big play by your senior, Kenny Towns, to get out of that inning, Coach O'Connor. But it's been your freshman last night who came up big, and tonight, the freshman Pavin Smith. What has allowed his success?
Well, he's done a great job for us all year long, Kaylee, and he's played enough games here now in Omaha that maybe it's slowed down for him a little bit, and the kid's got a lot of poise and obviously put a big swing on the ball.
We've seen Brandon Waddell take you on the mound through 4 innings. What's the plan moving forward?
Well, he's going to go back out there as long as he's collecting outs, and we're playing great defense behind him. He'll stay out there, and then we'll see what we have to do out of the bullpen.
Thank you, Coach.
Thank you.
Play still buzzing about that Kenny Towns play at third base. A legit dive to his right, and then a strong throw to get a pretty good runner. And Tyler Campbell, the third baseman tonight. Toffee and Towns have been super. So we're back to the top of the order for Adam Hastley. Top of the 5th of the College World Series Finals. And we're tied 1-1. This game will determine the champion. John Kilichowski came on last inning, phase 3, and
Thank you. You good?
how does that happen, Kyle? You're a pitcher. How does a pitch like that happen?
Sometimes not like this when it's really human. I mean, if your hands are just a little bit stickier than normal, the ball just sticks a little bit too long, and that's what it was. It's just kind of choking the breaking ball and holding on to it a little bit too long. It's crazy too, because just a minute ago Kilichowski threw a perfect one, and he might again right here. It's just a feel thing, but it usually happens the warmer it is.
When it happens, what's the pitcher reaction? Like, is it a really? Did I just do that? Or
Sometimes there's words that follow. You have a little discussion with yourself.
Out of play. A lot of times, even at the major league level, but you get 2 strikes, and then all of a sudden you kind of spike when you're I don't know if you're overthrowing it, trying to bury it in 3 pitches.
That's when, we were talking about this earlier. I think that's a spot, and that's not an example, but to where you really want to throw your best breaking ball, and if it's in the dirt, so what? Probably want to throw it beyond 55 feet and give you a better chance to get a swing. And obviously, he wasn't trying to do it there. Kilchowski generally has very, very good control. Just misfired on one.
Virginia's got the leadoff man on in the first, the third, and the fourth. And here again in the fifth. All right, so it's time for your pick you up moment of the game. It's brought to you by Enterprise Rent-A-Car. And watch the effort of Kenny Towns. He's the third baseman. Barrel roll. He barrel rolls.
The ball's hit sharply, as you see Waddell and Towns' moms hugging, loving that. But that wasn't just a step and a dive, and he was playing almost even with the bag. A great jump on that ball and a complete layout. And a huge play in this game.
You're not kidding. Saved a run. It's still 2-2. He's been a model of consistency for him. And again, a leadoff runner on, so Kilchowski will go back into his.
Well, and they've been waiting for Hazley the entire College World Series to get it going. 3 times now on base, coming from behind in that at bat against the lefty to work that walk.
For Daniel Pinero.
Ball's foul! Hit him foul! No, it hit him foul!
Pinero didn't seem to move. He must have known that that ball was either going to stay there, but you got to run, unless he knew, like, hey, that's not going fair.
Well,
go ahead, Brian.
no, he deadens it, and he sees that
back.
spin.
Yeah.
So I think it's actually the wherewithal to kind of not run
Stay
into
in the box.
it. Yeah.
I mean, that's deadening it, and then there's some pitching wedge backspin on that.
Yeah, seriously.
He goes again, does get this one down. Kilchowski will go to first and get the out. In the scoring position goes Hazley, and it's all about scoring at the NBA draft. Who's going to get the best player? Who's going to get the guard? Who's going for the big guys down low? Karl Anthony Towns, Jahlil Okafor. They're looking for a home. It's time for the NBA draft, Thursday at 7 Eastern on ESPN. It's presented by State Farm. These two schools used to basketball success. Cavaliers and the Commodores. Virginia more recently has been one of the top teams in the nation. Matt Theis looking for his first hit in the finals. Among the many options here at TD Ameritrade Pizza. Fresh. In the dirt, good block.
I got it. Come out.
I think that's the one thing that I'll remember most about this College World Series is it's not the home runs, it's the defense that's been played by all teams. Yeah. I think it's been outstanding. Up the middle, at the corners.
I do think the one thing that gets overlooked, and I mean the play by Towns was sensational, but the play over at first base by Smith was really smooth. I mean, just that transition to the backside of the bag. And it looks so effortless for those left-handed first basemen to move like that, to make that play, and it's not easy.
Theis's eyes lit up when he saw a ball up in the zone.
When you watch Pavin Smith's footwork over there and the way he moves around, it comes easy to him. He's gifted around that bag, and that play, he just kind of handled it with tremendous footwork. Here was that play that started the inning on that nice play by Waddell. Not an easy pick. Handles it cleanly.
You know, and you talked about it there too, and it's like guys that bunt when the ball's down in the zone and your whole body goes down. Right there, he goes down to that one, then the eye level's down at the ball. It's easier to react to it. Yeah, he's talented over there for a freshman at first base.
Missing low and away. And every program has freshmen, obviously, and those that make impacts. But the idea that you get a team to Omaha and then your freshmen have the experience of playing here, we've seen it this year, the value in Vanderbilt and Virginia for having had last year's experience. And all these guys and all 8 teams that had freshmen come here, if you're able to get back, it does feel like it gives you a huge advantage.
No question. And going back now a couple of weeks, but the first round, the first games were all won by teams that had either been here last year or, in Florida's case, had been here 2 years ago. And there's just a comfort level, absolutely.
And one of those kids that was a freshman last year that's had a great series is Brian Reynolds, who got to play plenty on this stage last year, and this year has hit just about everything he's seen.
Should be a good pitch at 3-1 to Theis. Ouch, it wasn't good at all. It hit him. And for a catcher who's used to getting banged around, that one got him right on the elbow.
Yep, that's that spot right above the elbow, kind of where the elbow and the triceps meet there, and that's the one that'll should be all right getting through the game, but unfortunately there's no more games after. But that's the one you're going to wake up with tomorrow. That's going to bother you. The thing you know, obviously you worry about with Theis is the catcher and a right-handed thrower. Obviously, you don't want that thing stiffening up on you.
Well, the guy that made the great defensive play, Kenny Towns, is now up for Virginia. Kilichowski, who had big strikeout numbers, has been on in relief and has yet to strike out anybody.
Well, we talked about when he came on to face Joe McCarthy, you would think the plan for Vanderbilt was that he could get through these lineup and especially through the middle of the order again, especially to some of these lefties. But now, with 2 runners on and the clutch Kenny Towns up, it looks like Tim Corbin's going to go get him.
You can feel the import of every decision as Corbin slowly walks out. It's been Colin Snyder who's been out there with his 15 appearances during the season, and the value of having a deep bullpen. Snyder's going to come into the game to face Towns.
I'm a little bit surprised it's not Kyle Wright. And I know it's not a save situation, but Wright has shown the ability to throw multiple innings. Doesn't need to be the 8th to the 9th for Wright to come in.
We'll take a break. Kenny Towns, the best RBI guy, is up for Virginia in the 5th of the winner-take-all game with 2 men on. And the third pitcher of the night is on for Vanderbilt as our game summary shows that both Waddell and Buehler started. Waddell stays in. Xander Wheel had an RBI double in the first as Vandy broke through. That 2-run home run you saw by Pavin Smith, and an outstanding defensive play by Kenny Towns prevented a run from scoring from Vanderbilt. And now the new pitcher is the righty Colin Snyder, another freshman who comes from the same town that Xander Wheel does. 6'4", 190-pounder. And there's still some more movement out there in that Vanderbilt bullpen.
I think there will continue to be movement out there in that Vanderbilt bullpen. I think they'll play a little matchup here for a while. Ben Bowden, the left-hander, up. Kyle Wright, the right-hander, just doing a little mound work. No baseball in his hand yet, but I think for Snyder, it's to come in and try to get maybe just Towns. I mean, if Bowden warms fast enough, it might be Bowden to come in to face Pavin Smith.
Runners are going. That one to right center field. Rhett Weissman going over. He's under it. He'll throw hard into second. But back in time is Adam Hasty. So they had something going there with the runners on the move. And Towns hit it well.
You know, it's interesting to see Adam Hazley, why Snyder was taking his warm-up pitches. He was working on a secondary lead at second base. So, you know, usually in those situations, you're kind of standing around. He was out there working, and he gets that hit and run sign, and Towns just a little too good a piece of it in the air.
And the signal's already been made to the bullpen. We are going to go with a lefty. Ben Bowden's going to come in. Colin Snyder did his job in the championship game of the CWS Finals. Yep, good job, man. One pitch, one out.
Exhale.
I know you threw a lot more pitches out there on the bullpen, but all we needed was one. That's a good line for you. We've seen Ben Bowden a handful of times here at the College World Series. He's making his third appearance. An ERA of 0. And good for Colin Snyder, who's got himself an opportunity to pitch here for the first time at the College World Series. And if they come back, he'll come back as a freshman. He'll be a sophomore next year. And boy, you do get the impression of how Vanderbilt and Virginia are loaded with these freshmen. But 2-0 game for Vandy here into the 4th inning, then the home run. It did feel like, given the pitching depth that Vanderbilt had, they had Virginia on the ropes, and that home run kind of changed everything, and now it's back to another fair fight.
Yeah, and I think to me, Vanderbilt had a spot to where Waddell has not been sharp, but Carl Kuhn said it, I think, pretty clearly to Kaylee. It's kind of, you're going to have to ugly it up tonight a little bit on the mound. He's done it, and he's got them to this point. Vanderbilt's missed some opportunities, though, and one swing from Pavin Smith evens this thing right up.
And it just seems like Virginia is just becoming so comfortable in these situations. And is there a little mental advantage right now, like Vanderbilt? How have we not put this thing away yet? Virginia just keeps hanging around. And as we've talked about, the Virginia freshmen have been coming up time after time. Hazley with the pitching performance, the ability to get on today. Ernie Clement last night, and now Pavin Smith on both sides of the ball tonight to tie the game and to preserve the lead defensively.
This play, though, saved Virginia from falling behind a run as Kenny Towns dove for a ball that was basically behind him, and then a long and strong throw. And watch Smith transfer the feet, cut in front of the runner, and make the out. None of that was easy.
No.
From the play at third to the play at first.
I mean, it's a big time play in a big time game right now.
Big Ben Bowden at 6'4", 225-pound sophomore from Lynn, Massachusetts.
We've seen plenty of Bowden in this College World Series, and a left-hander, a very good off-speed pitch that will be moving down and away from Pavin Smith. And this left-on-left matchup, they might not have done this if Smith hadn't hit it in the seats earlier, but you take that swing and now you think about Pavin Smith a little differently.
A walk and a home run for the freshman from Jupiter, Florida. And he sensed he might be coming up this inning, and he had a bat in his hands for a while. Maybe a little hangover effect from last night's slow pace of play. The crowd that's here tonight kind of wants to see this thing keep moving and delay with the new pitchers, wants to make sure we're not going to make a mistake, and there's no margin for error in a game like this. That's through. We'll see if Hazley's going to round. He is. Virginia's on top 3-2 as Pavin comes through again. Boy, all of a sudden Pavin Smith looks so comfortable at the plate.
You just love seeing him in this situation. He's already hit a home run. Does that change his approach at all? No. And on a 2-0 count, knowing that a lefty wants to work the ball to the outer half, he just goes with the pitch and finds that hole on the left side, much like the base hit he got in last night's ball game, and drives in the go-ahead run here for Virginia.
If Virginia was going to win a national championship, the freshmen had to play some part. There's just too many freshmen that are associated with it, and the freshmen have played a leading role so far in this CWS Finals.
And the Vanderbilt bullpen, which had been rock-solid shutdown, has gotten touched up a little bit tonight. Robbie Coleman's the designated hitter. Weiss is at second after getting drilled by a pitch. And Pavin Smith's at first. Late on that.
Yes, it is.
Hazley and Smith, the leadoff guy who just scored on that RBI single.
That's a mature hitter right there.
Yeah, and so for a freshman. And Smith had been on all 6 times tonight, 3 and 3. Coleman walked in the 4th, flew out to center in the 1st. That one's back up the middle, cut off by the second baseman. Out! What a play by Tyler Campbell! As the defensive wizardry continues on both sides, that saved a run.
I wasn't sure he was going to be able to get to this ball off the bat as Robbie Coleman hits another ball sharply back through the middle. But tremendous jump on this ball. He's able to backhand it and flip it to his buddy. Big, big out for Vanderbilt.
What a night of defense we're being treated to here at the CWS Finals.
Welcome back. Bottom of 5. Virginia up on Vanderbilt 3-2. Vandy about to pick up the bats, and one of those bats is that of Rhett Wiseman. He was just telling me pregame how proud he is of a very aggressive stride. Now, this stride is super unique and something that he takes pride in. And the reason why it's unique is a lot of times is your front head is going to go with your front foot, but look at his foot get down. Look how wide that stance is, but look at where his head stays over that back leg. Because of that, you see even on his finish how low in his legs he is. He's allowed to utilize that power because he stays back, guys. He's had a double and a single already, really utilizing that stride and power.
Well, if you saw Wiseman hit last year, the approach was very different. He was much more upright. Went to Cape Cod last summer. Mike Roberts was his coach at Katuitt, and that's when he got the crouch into his approach. Came back, Travis Jewett, the hitting coach, said, you know, I was kind of thinking about talking to you about the same thing, and it's led to significantly more power this year for Wiseman. Got him drafted in the 3rd round. He's had a great year.
Well, it also allows him to keep his bat in the hitting zone a long time and handle different speeds of pitches even when he might be a little bit fooled. I would say the one concern, though, is at times that head movement can get to be too much for him, and I think that's why we've seen a high number of strikeouts for him, and we've seen him swing through some pitches up in the strike zone.
Reynolds to second base. Ernie Clement, kind of a routine play. Like we just saw Tyler Campbell of Portland, Oregon make an unbelievable play to end that inning. And the half inning prior to that, Towns made one. Seesaw tips to Virginia. They got a 3-2 lead in the bottom of the 5th. Wiseman followed by Swanson. Wiseman was a hero earlier this week. He took a fastball off the neck when he squared the bunt. It was real scary. It made an odd sound. He stayed in the game with a single and later hit a home run.
That's the pitch right there. A little challenged up in the zone that he's had a little trouble consistently catching up to. And most of his hits the last couple of nights, the balls that he's hit really hard, have been secondary pitches, off-speed pitches down in the strike zone, because at that low stance, as Jess said, he's able to stay through that ball so long.
Well, with that, I mean, if you really need to get him out, I'm going up and in every time. Absolutely every time. Because you'll see, even with the defensive position from Vanderbilt, a lot of times he'll take that pitch on the outer half of the plate all the way over the. We've seen him take it off the plate and hook it to right field. It's the one up and in that, because of that stance, he has a real hard time getting on top of.
1-2 slow roller, and it's fielded by Waddell, who threw it to first, and Weissman is retired. So a good start to the fifth. He gets the leadoff man Reynolds, and then Weissman.
How about Waddell, Kyle? I mean, looked like he was really just feeling for it, trying to find himself the first couple innings. The first inning, those 2 hits and 2 earned runs. And it's been workmanlike. It hasn't been easy, but here he is with 2 outs now in the fifth and a lead.
And you know those guys that you better knock out early.
Yeah.
And if you don't knock them out early, at some point they're going to find it. And you just got the feeling that if Waddell's out there long enough, he's going to find it. Now he's looking a little bit more comfortable, but you're going to face the #1 overall pick in the draft, so you better not let that focus leave at all.
Yeah, this one can make you feel uncomfortable. Dansby Swanson.
Yeah, but this felt like another huge inning, as he had to go to the top of the order again with Brian Reynolds, and to get the first 2 outs here and probably look as good doing it as he has all night, certainly as comfortable as he has, is huge.
15 home runs on the year for Swanson. Look out.
That wasn't real easy.
I think he hit the bull in the head. We got Kevin Costner doing all those voiceovers for us. So
I see what you did there.
All right.
Well played.
Wheelhouse. Yeah, they're still talking about that one. Or tweeting about it.
Oh, that's all right. Come on. 2-1 now.
Weissman now in the role of cheerleader for Swanson, who grounded into a fielder's choice and struck out in the third. Checker first, no swing, and that one looked like perhaps he had broken. We got a pitcher up here who says strike, and a hitter who's like, nope.
I say no, but the question is, was it a strike at the top of the strike zone?
K-Zone had it as a ball. I was with you. Well, maybe I wasn't with you, but I thought it was a strike. So
3-1, good pitch to hit, and he swung at it, but it's playable. McCarthy under it, and how about it? The 1-2-3, top of the fifth, as he gets 1-2-3. McCarthy, Doherty, and Clement coming up as we head to the sixth.
Welcome back to a beautiful night in Omaha. Virginia is up on Vanderbilt 3-2. We're headed to the top of the sixth. I'm joined by Tim Corbin, and Coach, you mixed up the lineup a little bit early on. It proved good early, scored those first 2. How do you continue that?
Well, we've got to do a better job of not being so anxious at the plate, I think. The lineup I thought was going to help us tonight. We were able to get Murphy in there. He's a pretty good hitter, particularly against left-handed pitching. So we just got to be a little bit less anxious, I guess.
We've seen a few changes for your pitching staff. Now Kyle Wright takes the mound. What do you want to see him do against those Virginia bats?
Well, he's got to get to strike zone. I mean, we haven't been very good to lead off innings with walks, so we got to get ahead in the count and take advantage of that and force some quick outs if we can. Try to get the momentum back on our side a little bit.
All right, thanks a lot, Coach. I appreciate your time.
Thanks, Jess.
Last 3 innings, the leadoff man has been walked twice. He has scored. Kyle Wright's another freshman at 6'4", 200, and over the course of the season, he's developed into a guy that when he's on, you're not going to hit him.
The stuff is phenomenal, and I think it's the stuff that's going to turn him into a starter next year. But for Kyle Wright, a 1.15 ERA, he's already pitched 3 times in this College World Series, has transitioned into the Vanderbilt closer. And I think when you see him in a spot like this, and Wright, who's had the ability to go deeper into ball games, if you're Vanderbilt, ideally Kyle Wright finishes this game. And I know it's only the 6th inning, but I think that's the mindset now.
McCarthy swings at the first one, a fastball at 94. He fouls it back. 5 walks and a hit batter by the Vanderbilt pitchers tonight. Seven, 8, 9 scheduled to hit. Ground ball. Wheel will take it himself for the out. How's the night for Pavin Smith gone? 10:30 in the East. Big blast off the bat of Pavin Smith. That home run tied it, came in the 4th inning. And then defensively, he's been outstanding. Watch the scoop on that. Flip from Waddell. And then he delivered again in the 5th inning. And Kaylee's got more on his mom. Kaylee?
Well, a beaming Pam Smith here with me. Now, Pam, this is his first experience here, of course, in the College World Series, but not his first experience on a championship stage. Take me back to the Cal Ripken Little League World Series and his experience there.
Well, when Pavin was 12, he played in the Cal Ripken World Series. And he actually hit 2 home runs during that game. And the first one was to tie the game just like today. So it's been a great experience.
History repeating itself a bit here. Now, Kenny Towns' dad told me when Kenny met Pavin at the beginning of the season, he came home and told his dad, this kid is going to hit 20 home runs for us this year. What were Pavin's expectations coming into his freshman year?
You know what? Pavin just wanted to come in and help the team, and he just really wanted to help them get as far as they possibly could, and it's been wonderful so far.
Now, you've got a big contingency in the Smith family here, but noticeably missing a couple members of the family. Where did they go?
My husband had to take our 2 younger daughters home because one of my daughters was leaving on a mission trip today.
What is your husband Tim doing watching this game at home?
He's very excited. Very excited. He's having a great time, I'm sure.
Well, thank you, Pam. We'll let you enjoy the rest of this game.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Kaylee, and you can kind of sense the emotion of the moment there. And while they're able to experience it, they're not able to be together, the mom and dad, but they are all locked in on what Pavin has done tonight. And you get the sense, be more experiences for Pavin Smith.
And Pavin's gotten a little chatty and a lot more smiles going on. You can see he's relaxed quite a bit and having a monster game.
3-2 Doherty up the middle. Swanson's going to try to cut it off. Pretty play by the shortstop.
Oh, more outstanding defense tonight from both sides. As Dansby Swanson, we've seen very active. We see him showing the athleticism and the range. How about the angle he takes on this ball, knowing who's running, knowing where he has to get to, working to that short hop. And once he secures that, he knows he's got him.
When you could see the adjustment too. I mean, the first step was deep, and then from there he cut it off and went straight to it. Took a much more direct route after that first step and allowed him to make that play.
Wright pours in a fastball with 2 outs here in the top of the 6th inning. Another ground ball. Swanson charges, flips to his bare hand, and he makes the throw. And a quick inning. Kyle Wright effective. Bottom 6, 4-5-6 coming up for the Vanderbilt Commodores. On Baseball Tonight, we call them web gems here at the College World Series. Great defensive plays. A Jaron Kendall bunt, and Waddell and Pavin Smith combined to keep him off the bases. Swanson and Campbell up the middle have been super for Vanderbilt. Kenny Towns has the play of the night at third base to prevent the go-ahead run from scoring there. And then Campbell, how he was able to make a throw or get anything on it. Just 4 of the great defensive plays we've seen in what's been a very good game. We've got long balls, we've got defense, we're into a bullpen. Brandon Waddell has settled in as he tries to give Virginia its first championship in baseball. And we're flexing out here. You don't apologize, son.
Right.
Sun's out, guns out, even though it's night here. And here's a guy that can flex him a little bit. Xander Wheel. Having a good night, having a real good NCAA tournament and College World Series. A double and a walk as he bats for the 3rd time. 7 for 20. Little 81-mile-an-hour changeup that Wheel was.
Well, here's a perfect look to it. What Waddell has done really well tonight, and that's so many different looks and speeds, variation of the fastball, cutter, changeup. We've seen in this at bat the 3 pitches. We've seen 81, we've seen 84, we've seen 87. We could at any point see 91 if he wants to run that fastball or cutter inside.
And I think it's a really important point, because the way that he got floored out was pretty consistently cutter.
Yep.
And they just couldn't make the adjustment consistently to square it up. And tonight, Vanderbilt put some good swings on it early, and he's shown the ability to show many different looks out there.
1-2 to Wheel. He rolls it over to the shortstop, Pinero. Good arm, and Wheel's retired to lead off the bottom of the 6th. See some offense and maybe some good defense too, as we look forward to seeing Chris Bryant and the Chicago Cubs take on the St. Louis Cardinals. Because the Cardinals have been so great, it's not like they're battling for first place, but Chicago's in a playoff race. Sunday at 8 Eastern time, ESPN, watch ESPN, and of course Sunday night countdown, baseball tonight, 7 o'clock Eastern time. Going to be a very, very good summer in Chicago for the Chicago Cubs and their fans. Right now, Will Toffee. You see Vanderbilt back next year. You'll see Toffee. You'll see Kendall. You'll see Murphy. This one is hammered to right field, but it stays up for Joe McCarthy, barely.
You know, you wonder if the lights were an issue for him out there. This ball is hammered by Toffee out there, and McCarthy kind of goes over casually as this ball's sinking, and this ball gets by him. It's maybe 3 bases. You see him kind of hang with it just long enough, and I think a big sigh of relief when he was able to secure it.
I love the reaction afterwards. Just
Big Joe's taking it too.
Exhales and casually holds the glove up.
Pretty good wind blowing out to right, and this is a kid we saw hit a walk-off home run against Cal State Fullerton, Jaron Kendall. He tried to bunt for a hit last time and was thrown out by Waddell. Underneath it, it's on the infield. You can hear Pavin Smith yelling at Clement, you take it, and take it. He does. They get out of it. Waddell starting to lock in. He retired 8 in a row and threw 8 pitches. We head to the 7th at TD Ameritrade. That one is fair. What a play by Towns. Can he throw him out? Yes! Pavin Smith and Virginia 9 outs away from the school's first baseball championship. We go to the 7th inning. Vandy, of course, the home team, by virtue of a coin flip, will be able to bat last if it's required. Adam Hayes, who's been big for them. Single, 2 walks, a run. I think runs become a little more difficult to come by with right on, especially the way he looked last half.
Yeah, I don't think Virginia's going to score unless a left-handed hitter hits it in the seats. I don't see him stringing 2 or 3 hits together against right. They could run into one because the wind is blowing even harder to right field, but the stuff is pretty good.
Oof. That one looked down, but it's called a strike to Hastley.
Now the question is Vanderbilt going to score again? Because Waddell has really found it.
He threw 77 pitches last night. There's no possible chance that Spores is available, but this would be the ideal situation that you'd see Spores in, and Virginia would feel so comfortable about winning this. But he was the workman, and without him, they're not in this position. Swanson's not going to cut that one off, but Campbell not in time. I think if Swanson was able to get to it, they get the out.
Well, I think both of them could have got to it, but I think Tyler Campbell kind of got a little hesitant, and if he doesn't hesitate here, he's got him. It turns into a pretty good play, but Hazley with his speed able to beat it. Now Hazley on base for the 4th consecutive time tonight, but I think that's Tyler Campbell's ball all the way, but that little hesitation was enough for Hazley to be safe at first. Now if you're bunting against the lefty earlier, you're most certainly bunting here against the righty with the good hitting lefty Theis on deck.
This is Daniel Pinheiro. He does have a bunch of sacrifice hits. He lays that one down. He's out. Did he call him out on the tag play? Did he call him out?
I think he called him out when it hit him.
I'll get help. Stay right there.
We're going to have a discussion about it.
I think the ball hit him in fair territory, and if it did, the base runner's going to go back to
ball
first
dead
base.
And the base runner goes back.
I think he calls him on the tag right there. So he called him out on the tag.
If he's out on the tag, he's safe at second.
But you could call interference, but it didn't look like he called interference.
No, and I don't think you can call interference on that one.
Yeah,
it's the right call.
How about Pinheiro though? With his bunts, he doesn't seem to. He doesn't take off. This is the second time we've seen him bunt it and kind of stand there for a second. He takes off when he bunts it. Can he get out of the way? Look at the hesitation.
Well, these last ones, because they've been off the plate, I think he's kind of waiting to see. And because it's a sacrifice situation, he's really making sure he hangs in there and just lays the ball where he wants it.
You could argue that he prevented DeLay from throwing that ball down.
Yeah, but he's got the ability to run to first base. And I think in that spot, you can just argue he's running to first.
Right.
I mean, it's kind of a strange baseball play, but I don't think you call interference on this.
And once he catches it, he tags him. So yeah, I think it's the right call here.
So when all's said and done, he actually got the.
Watch his backhand. Watch his backhand.
Ooh.
That's what you could have called. That's what you could have called.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah, I mean the normal act of running to me looked fine, but you could have called that.
Holding a glove, slapping at a glove, usually frowned upon in baseball. Seen that before. Guy that's tearing it up for the New York Yankees right now, Alex Rodriguez.
I think you got to be careful with Theis here with the base open.
86 in the strike. So Pinheiro did his job. He got Hazley down to second base. To Theis. The temperature has dropped considerably here in Omaha tonight, and the wind is really howling out towards right field.
Howling. Yeah.
One and two. CWS Finals Game 3, best of 3. Vanderbilt behind Carson Fulmer, Game 1. Virginia comes back last night. Josh Spores carries them through the final innings, throwing 70+ pitches, not allowing a run. Theis hit it hard on the ground, but playing very deep. Tyler Campbell And he throws him out. Down to third goes Hastley. So now the RBI machine that is Kenny Towns comes up for Virginia. You think Carson did that in his own?
He'd end up down there at some point.
I'm going to go hang out there.
I doubt he has his spikes on, though.
No. Spikes are on.
Nails are on.
Nails are nailed up.
Towns has been so clutch for him. 11 RBI in the NCAA tournament. Big run down there at third. Back up the middle. He delivers again. 4-2 Virginia. Kenny Towns so clutch.
I mean, it's remarkable. A huge defensive play. And now Kyle Wright, you know, as tough as you're going to see coming out of the pen, especially from the right side, righty on righty, and just the discipline to just stay through the middle with that breaking ball and get another huge hit for this Cavalier team. The seniors coming up huge.
When I was dead wrong, I didn't think they could string a few together, but you get a leadoff infield single, sack him to second, ground ball to the right side, gets him to third, and then Kenny Towns delivers again. He combined the play at third base, which saved a run, and now he drives another one in right there. Huge impact on this ball game again by Towns.
7 RBIs in the College World Series. He's got a 10-game hitting streak. And you got to be careful here. Smith gets this one up into the jet stream, and it could go a long way.
You know that St. Joe's mascot flaps his wings the entire ball game.
Runner goes, throw down to second. Good throw. Out. They take the bat out of Pavin Smith's hands. Towns is thrown out, but not before he knocks in a run as he comes off gingerly. He'll be back at third base in a couple of minutes. Virginia's got a 2-run lead as we go to the bottom of the 7th at the College World Series. Take a look at the Capital One Cup standings. The teams competing for a combined $400,000 scholarship donation from Capital One. This one here is worth 60 points, and it would allow the Virginia men's sports programs to win the Capital One Cup. Want to thank all of our camera people. They've been outstanding all week. Wade Hewitt to Mark Ruffard, Steve Haas, we just saw him. Gary Genowine, Kent Ayers right there, Mike Glenn, Glenn Logan, John Lawrence, John Enrico, Larry Fairclough, Shane Marshall, Tom Sedley, Mike Williams, Ralph Hammock, and Joe Anderson been here for 2 weeks and have done an outstanding job, including that guy who's been outstanding, capturing all the images, the sights, the sounds of this 2015 College World Series. The audio has been outstanding. Camp has been super. And so have the games this season, and we got another one tonight. Virginia 9 outs away from their first College World Series championship. Brandon Waddell's got 8 in a row. First pitch to Penn Murphy to lead off the bottom of the 7th is in there for a strike. Seen that a couple of times from Waddell. He lets it fly open and lets it fly. Now Vandy needs base runners. A big insurance run came across in the top of the 7th for Virginia on an RBI by Kenny Towns. That was the old adage, if you're going to get him, you got to get him early. Look at what he's done in the 5 innings since the first. No runs, 2 hits.
First 2 guys of the game scored.
Yeah, walk and a double. Both came in to score. Think about Virginia's top half of the first. They had 2 men on, nobody out, and they didn't score.
So now Nathan Kirby will start to pick up the pace, I think, in a minute. Alec Bettinger up and throwing again.
You don't want to walk Murphy, the leadoff guy. He swings at one, and he sends it into the seats. You're looking for more coverage of the College World Series, including the interactive brackets and highlights. Go to ncaa.com. Right field, McCarthy. No problem, one down. Good battle back from Waddell behind 3-1. Jason delays the catcher. Bowl for 2 tonight. Right field, but it's going to get into the seats. See a lot of these guys at the next level too. Major League Baseball will soon welcome a handful of players that we've seen tonight and in the coming years. 15 kids drafted. There were over 50 drafted from the 8 teams when we first got here, including Swanson, the top pick. Alex Bregman apparently has agreed to a deal, the number 2 overall pick. And life's going to change for these boys real quick. So those guys are going to experience things that they haven't. This is a privileged existence to play for these programs. See places that they've seen. They put in the work and they've earned it. But take a look at the guys that we saw that were drafted in the first round that were in the field this year.
Yeah, Bregman reportedly agreed with the Astros. Benintendi, the Golden Spikes Award winner, that was announced yesterday. Carson Fulmer, Richie Martin, who looked so good at shortstop for Florida. Buehler, and then Nathan Kirby, who is up and warming in that Virginia bullpen.
You can see Waddell kind of barking himself. He wanted that one to be a lot closer to the strike zone than it was. As you look at Nathan Kirby, it's hard to imagine how things could have gone better for Brian O'Connor given the circumstances that he was dealing with. This one to right, it's right at McCarthy, 2 men down. You really got to try to understand how close Virginia was to not getting into the NCAA tournament, let alone the ACC tournament. I don't think I've never seen it. Have you seen it before where it's been this close? That fringe, and here you are playing for a championship?
When Oregon State won the national title as a 3 seed, supposedly they were the last team that got into the NCAA field, and they were an at-large selection and came all the way back when they won their second of 2 national titles in a row. Fresno did it as a 4 seed, but they got in because they won their league that year. This one's pretty special just to even be in this spot.
Well, I think you made the correlation that it's like a 12 seed in the basketball tournament.
It's a 9 to a 12 seed is what a 3 seed in a regional equates to.
They got a break when Maryland beat UCLA, because then that allowed them to play the Super back at home in Virginia. But I guess, you know, you brought out the ACC tournament. They just got into that. Didn't they go 1-3 in the ACC tournament?
Well, yeah. I mean, they had to win a play-in to get into the actual ACC tournament. Play in to get into it, and then after that.
But going 1-3 was enough?
I think just getting into the tournament
just getting
was enough, yeah. Yeah.
There were those low seeds that won the tournament. And there's still some opportunities left. I mean, this is a Vanderbilt team that can run scores up. And you're going to take Waddell out at some point and bring in Kirby. That could change. That could change things unless they leave Waddell in.
And you've got the top of the order coming up.
Yep.
after this for Vanderbilt.
I mean, this is big time decision time coming up for Brian O'Connor, because again, 3 days rest, 104 pitches, and it seems like he's found his groove now. You got the top of the order coming up. And even though he knows Nathan Kirby at his best is a tremendous frontline pitcher, there's still that unknown in the back of his mind going, I'm not sure what we're going to get, because it's been so infrequent over the last 2 months.
And this guy has retired 11 in a row. Brandon Waddell and Virginia 6 outs away from their first national championship. The Red Hawk, Pavin Smith, comes up when we come back to Omaha. Brandon Waddell out, and it looks like his night is over as Pavin Smith steps in and takes a rip at the first one. Wright throws him out. So while we were up here kind of debating whether Waddell, who'd retired 11 in a row, was going to stay in, there's your answer right there.
Yep. And Nathan Kirby all of a sudden heating up with a little more urgency out there. Clearly getting ready to come into this ball game.
Kirby pitched on the 19th. He went 2 2/3, 4 hits, 3 earned runs, a walk and a strikeout. And as you and I were talking about during the break, Aaron, you know, Major League Baseball, you have your 8th inning guy, 7th inning guy, 9th inning guy. You're talking about a starter who's coming in the 8th inning of the game.
It's a unique dynamic. A starter that's pitched 1 time in 10 weeks, you know, is the other thing. So, you know, Kyle, 9 times out of 10, big leagues, college, you know the formula that's getting you to the finish line. Here, it's decision time.
Robbie Coleman becomes a base runner here in the top of the 8th inning.
Well, Robbie Coleman finally gets a break here. He's hit some balls hard in this College World Series, but hasn't had much at all to show for it. He lined out to center, and Campbell made a great play on him in his last at bat. This time, no one's getting to this as he pounds it through the middle. We see the drop down there, drop down slider, a little a la Jeff Nelson. He stays on it and puts a good swing through the middle.
So Thomas Woodruff, who was the hero last night, has gone into pinch run. He, of course, came up with the big hits.
And he's one guy you got to watch on this Virginia team. A guy who didn't play a ton, obviously, but 5 for 5 in stolen base attempts. He's a good athlete, good speed.
And why not take a chance?
Yeah. I mean, I liked Virginia doing it last inning. DeLay was able to cut him down at the end of the inning, but why not try and steal one more insurance run?
Joe McCarthy is still got only 1 hit. But his first hit here was a home run. What about his last at bat here, barring a tie? Kirby has thrown 53 pitches in the past 67 days. That's not a lot. 53 in 67 days. Not 6 days or 7, but 67. In there for a strike on the outside corner.
That's why it's a dicey decision, Kyle. I mean, Brian O'Connor's made a lot of right decisions, but this is a big one. I mean, especially when you consider how Waddell was cruising.
Yeah, but I respect him for doing it.
Yeah.
I really do. I respect him for doing that. I respect him for telling Josh Spores, don't even put your spikes on tonight. I mean, making decisions that are more than just tonight. And again, for all of the challenges that Virginia has had on the mound, you still have a first rounder down in the bullpen warming up right now. It's amazing.
Yeah. Yep. And O'Connor has established a reputation as being a guy that is as concerned about the well-being of his players now and down the road as anybody in baseball, which would serve him really well down the road if there's a kid who's a pitcher who wants to eventually, or a player, get to the major leagues. You know you're going to be, you know that will be a consideration while you're there.
Yep.
1-1 to Joe McCarthy, but first to throw over.
I think it's the one thing that gets overlooked sometimes, and you hear and I understand fans saying, why isn't Spores up? Why you can get Spores up? Reality, Spores is going to sign for $1 million in a few weeks. Close to it. I mean, if he doesn't get 7 figures, he's getting very, very close. I mean, this kid, I mean, he's got a career that comes after this, and if it's up to him, I'm sure he's saying, I can throw, I want to throw. But I respect Brian for making the decision that he did.
Is it an easy statement to say this is Brian O'Connor's best coaching job he's ever done?
I don't know how you can do any better.
Yeah.
I really don't. I mean, from a team in the middle of the season that you can see is starting to fall apart, to going and sweeping North Carolina when you have to on the road, to then having to go all the way across the country to play in a regional, and now have a chance to potentially win a national title.
2-1 pitch, runner goes, Woodruff throw down. He's out by a lot.
We might have had a missed sign here, because Woodruff wasn't your normal glance in when you're trying to steal a base. It was look in from the get-go, like there was a hit and run on. You see him looking in all the way, and then all of a sudden there's no swing, so out. Someone, maybe either Woodruff or McCarthy there, missing a hit and run sign, but 2 outs nonetheless.
McCarthy's got a 3-1 count. Big pitch here from Kyle Wright. 3-2. Waddell's made 4 starts at the College World Series, and Virginia has won every game that he has started. Tonight would be the 5th and the biggest if Kirby can close it out. 3-2. Ripped under the diving glove of Tyler Campbell. And McCarthy has hit the ball like that a lot, and he finally gets a hit to pay it off, his 2nd of the College World Series.
And it's really good to see him back and playing and healthy, and he puts a charge into this ball. On a 3-2 count, I think he goes back to that sinker. It stays up. Good plate coverage, and watching him run down to first, Kyle, you see he's healthy, and the athleticism and the speed he brings.
And the other thing too, with the injury that he had, I mean, you have back surgery. It's not like you can lift.
Right.
You're rehabbing just to get back to the point to where you can play, and then maybe you can lift as the season goes on. So you know that from a strength standpoint, it's tough to get the strength back. When McCarthy squares it up, it sounds different than most.
2 outs, Kevin Doherty.
And I think another spot here, even though you've had a couple guys thrown out, essentially trying to steal bases, although we thought the Woodruff one might have been a miss hit and run sign. With 2 outs here, you're at the bottom of your order, the 8-hitter. I think another chance to where, with speed on first, I think you're willing to roll the dice here to try and get that runner into scoring position.
Called strike 2. Reynolds, Weissman, and Swanson, 1, 2, and 3. Will bat for Vanderbilt when they come up in the bottom of the 8th inning. With the wind gusting out to right field. Brian O'Connor's Army is rooting for another run or 2 here. So Brandon Waddell, who pitched a complete game in Game 2 last year, will not finish this one tonight. But his legacy is cemented at Virginia. There's a swing and a miss, and Wright gets out of it with no damage. Top of the order, Reynolds, Weissman, and the #1 overall pick in this year's draft, Dansby Swanson, to face another guy who went in the first round. Number 19, Nathan Kirby, needs 6 outs to get Virginia a title. So Pavin Smith and Brandon Waddell, Kenny Towns, all have played huge roles in Virginia's 4-2 lead. And now they turn it over to Nathan Kirby, who hurt himself April 17th, a lat muscle. Since then, everyone else has picked him up, and now he's back in the big spot. And that's why you see only 11 appearances. This is the first time he's come out of the pen since 2013. Little huddle between innings there, Jess.
Xander Wheel just got this team together and said, we have 6 outs left with this team to play together. How do you want to go out? I want to go out fighting like heck. And he got them all together. They got rallied up, and he said, let's do this these last 6 outs.
If Kirby can get it, it will be his first career save, but he's got to go through the gauntlet that is Reynolds, Weissman, Swanson, and Wheel if they can get to him.
Kyle, it'd be interesting to see Kirby's fastball change slider. The slider's a really good pitch for him, but in his start earlier this week, it was pretty much fastball changeup. We didn't see the breaking ball.
Well, I think the other is how he responds to being back on this mound. 1 year and 1 day ago, Nathan Kirby got to start against Vanderbilt. In that game, 2 1/3, gave up 2 hits, walked 5, and gave up 8 runs.
From a hitting perspective, is there relief that Waddell's out of the game, given the way he was pitching?
Well, you're at the top of the order now, and you're Brian Reynolds now on forward. These are really good hitters, confident hitters, so I think you should feel like, no, we're going to break through against whoever they run out here.
David Price got the rally cap going backwards, towel around the neck, rooting on his Commodores. 2-1, Reynolds fouls it back, and Kirby's battled back to even it up. Can't say enough about Waddell, who retired the last 11, I should say, and that guy has 19 innings. He hadn't allowed a run in the NCAA tournament. 2-2. Got him swinging on a slider. 1 man down in the 8th.
There it was, Kyle. Yep. We did not see that pitch in his start in the College World Series. It's one of the reasons he's a first rounder. That's a wipeout slider that he buries at that back right foot of the righty.
Well, and if you're Kirby, there's a huge sigh of relief right now. I mean, you get out there and you get the first guy out in a role that you haven't done in 2 years.
Brett Weissman doubled, singled, and hit it back to the pitcher Waddell. Pom-poms, prayers. First pitch fastball at 94 misses.
Here comes the velo. Here comes the velo.
Well, and the crowd got a little buzzier, the bench, and a little extra adrenaline after that first put-away pitch.
Now you got to control it.
Yep.
And you're at a spot, I think, in this Vanderbilt order that even though you're down 2, you're still going to see patient at-bats with these guys. They've been in this situation before.
One of college baseball's best players is on deck. Called strike 2-1. Three and 1. Any base runner means tying run to the plate.
Huge take for Weissman there. That's a pitch he has struggled with in this World Series. That fastball up around the letters. He hasn't been able to lay off it there to get the 3 balls.
May have swung at ball 4. And when you need base runners, that patience Kyle talked about needs to be displayed. Close.
Well, and you're talking about an area of strength also for Weissman. Down in the strike zone is where he wants it.
And now Dansby Swanson comes to the plate as the tying run. The day he was drafted in the Super Regional, hit a game-tying home run, scored the winning run, and then got the phone call that he had been taken first. the first base runner Vanderbilt has had in over an hour. Their first base runner since the 4th inning. And Swanson can erase the 4 for 23 real quick. Nathan Kirby ahead 0-2.
Back to back, Kyle. Sliders now. The first one was similar to the strikeout pitch. That one more in the strike zone, but still sharp and on the hands.
He just asked Jeff Hendricks, was it a strike? And Hendricks' response, it was close.
I think you go right back in there and try and back foot that slider again and see if he can lay off it.
He went for it, and he's called out, and Swanson argues, but the first base umpire, Perry Costello, says he went. Sure looked like he did.
Let's see if those hands break. I thought he did too, and ooh, that's about as close as it gets. Does that back cross home plate? Yeah.
I don't think he did. Up here. In regular speed, I thought he did, but that replay, I'm not so sure. But Kirby made the pitch he want and at least got the flinch he want. And the call goes the way of the Cavaliers on a close call.
And now Xander Wheel, who doubled, walked and grounded out to short. And we've seen Wheel's ability to hit that inside pitch and keep it fair. That double in the first came on a pitch that very few could keep in play.
Well, the slider is shown up tonight. His hit is on the pass list. It was not there for him, but here's some of the power of Xander Wheel. We see the big leg kick. This was the home run against TCU. It's big time power, and if you make a mistake, he's a guy that can tie it with one swing.
Starting pitcher now looks out at another guy that will start at the next level. Kirby, who has struck out Reynolds and Weissman to start the bottom of the 8th.
First changeup we've seen of the night from Nathan Kirby. Up to that, every off-speed pitch had been the slider. That time goes to the change.
He struck out Weissman and Swanson. I misspoke. Reynolds reached base. I correct myself. Let's hope this is nothing serious here for Kirby.
It might be for Theis.
Yeah.
Told the umpire he was cramping.
Trying to stretch it out right there.
You guys, pregame, the medical staff was talking about not just that the heat was in the 80s, but that because of the humidity, the heat index was over 100. And they actually went and warned both teams to stay hydrated throughout the game because they were worried about cramping. That heat index is a big indication for what you're seeing right now in the field.
Yeah, he's obviously got to get back and get into that crouch position.
Yeah, Robbie Coleman is out of this game. So if who's the other catcher, these cramps continue to be an issue.
He's going to have to get back there too, assuming he's healthy enough for the bottom of the 9th as Vandy is the home team.
Run.
Try to take advantage of that?
No.
I'd think about it.
Here we go. Close.
And I wouldn't do it right here, but you get a 2-strike count, I'd think about it. And he's still back there trying to stretch that thing out.
The thing is, you've got to wait so long with the lefty. And with it not being the tying run, if all of a sudden he's sound and you're waiting because you think he's not going to be able to throw and you're out at second with Xander Wheel and his power standing at home plate.
It's a chance. I understand it's a chance, and I don't think you do it yet, but I think you at least think about it, especially if he continues to move that thing around.
Wheel fouls another one off. He's able to make contact with that pitch. Yeah, Swanson check and check out.
I think he's going to lower it even more here. Now you might see him bounce it down and in. And it's got good bite on it tonight, good depth on it.
At the College World Series, 3 doubles, a home run, 15 home runs in the regular season for Xander Wheel. Last year in the 8th inning, John Norwood hit the home run for Vanderbilt that ultimately gave them the championship. Not going, that one high. Ben Casilio we saw out there. Wheel swings and misses. And how about striking out the side? Nathan Kirby picks up where Waddell led off. He got Reynolds, he got Swanson, and he got Wheel.
I think the slider's back, Mooney.
Oh, man.
I think the slider's back tonight. 3 strikeouts in the inning, all on that pitch right there. Nathan Kirby and Virginia 3 outs away from their first national title. Brandon Waddell pumped up.
Last inning, Virginia's got a 2-run lead, and they are 3 outs away from a College World Series championship that few thought would be possible at many times during the season. First pitch from Kyle Wright, ball 1. It's Ernie Clement, and then back to the top of the order. And how about Virginia the last 2 nights, guys? You had 8-9 last night, deliver everything. Tonight, 8-9 doesn't have a hit. Yet the top 3 guys have been on base. The middle of the order's delivered a home run. They seem to truly define the team concept.
And it's needed to be that way. I mean, to get it done, they needed a bunch of different guys. Tonight it was the freshman.
Clement has been very big for them defensively. Last night offensively, got jammed there. And Toffee throws him out. Because Nathan Kirby hadn't pitched in so long, the sharpness which he showed us there in that inning stands out. He struck out the side. He had 3 Ks in the previous 74 days. The rust, and that may have been really what the value of that first appearance was. Get the rust off.
Well, I thought it was interesting in calling that game, and he pitched okay. The stuff looked okay, but there was 0 sliders. It was fastball, changeup, and more I'd heard about the slider. Well, I see what they're talking about tonight. Wow. I mean, that just punched out 3 really good Vanderbilt hitters and kind of made them look foolish.
Looks like Justin Novak may be coming into the game to catch for Virginia. If Theis and the treatment he's receiving isn't going to be enough to allow him to come back in. Although given the way he's moving around, I find it hard to believe that a kid from New Jersey is going to be taken out. Swanson steps, throws, and Wheel is able to reel it in. 2 men down.
Nice job, Dan.
Panero and then Theis. I can't imagine what's going through Brian O'Connor's head right now. His family here. He was born in Omaha, pitched on that '91 Creighton team that made it to the College World Series. Swanson's got another chance. And now it's the last chance for Vanderbilt. The defending national champions trying to go back-to-back. And Nathan Kirby tries to deliver Virginia its first baseball title. Look who's standing. The Who's fans on their feet, 3 outs away from a championship, as Virginia tries to take that road less traveled to become the 3rd school to win the title after losing game 1 of the finals. Fresno State and Oregon State. Virginia trying to become the 4th school to win the title after losing in the championship game the previous season. They were close last year, and the smile suggests they're even closer this time around. For Vanderbilt, you got freshmen coming up, and freshmen have been a huge story of the 2015 College World Series. It'll be Will Toffee and then Jaron Kendall. Lefty on lefty for the first 2 hitters. That wipeout slider works differently, obviously, with lefties than it does righties. Theis stays in the game at catcher. So you throw a fastball right at the knees for a strike to start him off.
Well, you're probably figuring Toffee's taking a pitch there just to make Kirby find the zone. He has sprayed that fastball a little bit.
He's going to throw it 4 straight times right now if he has to. But
Yep.
that's all you're going to see right now if you're talking.
Yeah. This is a time where we've seen Theis at times 0-2 jump out in that other box and waste a fastball.
There's no
Forget
reason.
that.
Just
start that slider on the plate and try and work it off. And the discipline then falls on Toffee to try and lay off.
And he does. 1-2. The 2014 edition of the Virginia Cavaliers were on paper a much better team than the 2015 club that Brian O'Connor has. But they couldn't pull it off. 1-2, strike 3. Foul tip. Was it caught off the dirt?
It was definitely in the dirt.
Yeah, it was in the dirt. It was in the dirt. Foul tip.
So Toffee stays alive. Good sell job by Theis, but it definitely short hopped him.
Did he tip that?
I think that's what Brian O'Connor's going to ask. It certainly didn't appear as if he did, but the umpire is convinced he heard something.
Tick, tick.
He said it right away. So the next one, he doesn't tip that one. Nathan Kirby's 4 outs have all been strikeouts. And David Price and his beloved Commodores, 2 outs left.
Here we go, Jared. Just find it inside. Just find it inside.
The ACC drought goes back to 1955, but Virginia's been playing baseball since 1886. That's a longer drought. Clement, 1 out away. Penn Murphy, the last chance for Vanderbilt.
First time we've seen a slider there, first pitch from Kirby, and it definitely looks like Vanderbilt is taking a strike at least till that tying run comes to the plate.
There's the strike. Brian O'Connor's dad.
He's just going to the whip now.
Yep. Yep.
Brandon Waddell started. Nathan Kirby tried to finish it in what would be a most unexpected title for Virginia. Now down to their last strike. Not going to be how many wins, it's going to be when they got them. Only 43 wins this season. Stays alive. Last school to win a crown with that few amount of wins, 45. You got to go back to 1968 when USC won it all. As he just misses.
It's back-to-back that have hung up a little bit. He threw one like that to Jaron Kendall that he hit sharply for the second out. See if he buries one more down and in.
3-2 to Penn Murphy. This one into left, and it drops. And the tying run will come to the plate. Kevin Doherty thought about it and then backed off. So Vanderbilt stays alive.
Every pitch in that at bat.
Yep.
Every pitch in that at bat was a slider to Penn Murphy. And the last few were elevated. That one elevated enough that Murphy could get to it. Off the bat, maybe Kirby thinking that ball can be caught. But Doherty plays it on the hop. And Vanderbilt still kicking.
And it looks like they're considering at least a pinch hitter for Jason DeLay, somebody that could perhaps hit a ball over the wall, tie the game up with one swing.
Looks like Kyle Smith.
Kyle Smith is going to be the guy that comes up. He's appeared in 15 games. You can just see by the size of him that there's some potential power in that bat. At 6'4", 220 pounds.
This right here would be the stuff legends are made of if Smith goes deep, because he's got one hit this year. I mean, you're pushing all your chips in right now and saying, big boy, if you run into one to right, it's 4-4, and we'll take a chance.
And hope Kirby's got another hanging slider in him.
Only 15 at bats for Kyle Smith. Super Regional, he appeared and had a big hit, a double. That was his first hit of the season. Can he do it here at the College World Series? No force now at second base as Penn Murphy has moved down there, and now timeout. And Carl Kuhn's gonna come out and kind of go over what Kyle Smith may present.
He probably doesn't know. I mean, 15 at bats on the year. He's saying, I know this guy's a big dude though and can get into one, and the last handful of sliders that he's thrown have been up.
Well, and I would tell you this, I would not forget about the fastball inside,
Yes.
because the ball, you have to lean on one to get it out to left tonight. Right, the wind is going to help you. To left, it's going to knock it down.
Kyle Smith had appeared in 14 games. The 15th game that he appeared in, he got his 15th at bat, and that was the first hit he got. Hit 4 home runs in 2013 out of Mount Juliet High School in Old Hickory, Tennessee. One of the improved players on the team. He played in New York during the summer. He came back with a more polished approach at the plate, but now he's facing a first rounder with the College World Series on the line. Big swing and a strike. 1-1. Swings and a slider, and he's got him set up. Kyle Smith behind 1-2. One more of those, and Kirby and Virginia will have their first title. Carson Fulmer on one side, Brandon Waddell pacing on the other. Josh Spores, so dominant all season long. Hopes to pay it off with a championship.
You wonder what the step off is. It actually looks like Smith kind of has moved off the plate a little more, knowing that, hey, the slider's coming, he's burying it, I'm going to keep getting it, and maybe Kirby noticed that, and that's why he kind of kept stepping off and brought Theis out.
It's all over. Brian O'Connor and Virginia have pieced together a championship. The dog pile is the Cavaliers And the last time they did that, Brian O'Connor jumped on. Tonight he's going to go shake the hand of Tim Corbin, who last year did the very same thing with him. Congratulated him on a championship. And a great embrace at home plate between the two coaches. Dansby Swanson shaking the hand of Brian O'Connor and the rest of that Vanderbilt staff while the players celebrate in the middle of the diamond. The most improbable title for Virginia.
It's pretty amazing, boys. Especially after losing game one. I mean, for a team that was so depleted on the mound and just did not have that many places they could go. You lose game one to come all the way back through this the way that they did. The freshman Pavin Smith today. And you get your first rounder Kirby to come out and finish it out and get the last 6 outs of the game. That was pretty incredible what Virginia just pulled off.
It's about the players. But the buttons that Brian O'Connor pushed, the decision to start Hazley last night and go to Spores as long as he did.
He was amazing, as Aaron points out. Our Capital One Tournament most outstanding player, the beast of the bullpen, Josh Spores. 19 innings, no earned runs. And just a terrific job for Brian O'Connor, and you feel great for him. You feel badly for Vanderbilt, but they had it last year, and this year it's the Cavaliers. Our final score is 4-2. We're saying so long from the College World Series. We'll send it to Sports Center with John Anderson and Kevin Connors, and we will be right back in 1 minute.